Okay, and welcome to another exciting installment of the Terrorisk podcast. This is going to be episode 86, and I think it's like the first official episode of 2024, so lots of fanfare. Thanks for joining me, Jay to Flame, on this, well, I guess it's technically like year two, but it's just hit like our first full year. So yeah, good times. I don't know. Do you have any tips or anything that you think will improve this podcast? I definitely need like a better set or something. You know, this whole apartment thing's getting kind of old.
I mean, for that, bro, a lot of people. There's a lot of influencer streamers streaming out of their apartment or their room, living room, whatever.
Live from New York.
Other than that, I would just say you can have a watermark on if you got your own. That's all, just little stuff. You can add in probably. Do you got that on? Wait, hold on. Let me look at the Facebook stream because I'm looking at the Discord.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So stuff like watermark, maybe like your, I don't know, just little stuff like that. Just a logo. It doesn't. There's not too much, bro.
Yeah, I already got
So,
it. I already usually slap the watermark on in the edits, but yeah, all right.
yeah, I'll totally get that.
How's your New Year's?
It was good. Lit. Went to a party. Drank some liquor.
Some? You only
Uh,
drank some liquor?
Yeah, no, because compared to last year, it was like gallons, thousands
Gallons.
of gallons, thousands of gallons. And that's like I said, I wasn't trying to coming in this year with a hangover. That was my only thing. Last year, like I said, I just turned 30. When I was 18, you can drink gallons of liquor, wake up at 5 in the morning, the next day go to work. Nowadays, you wake up in critical condition when you drink. When you drink, but like I said, yeah, I just drank a little bit, woke up and was refreshed. 2024,
Yeah. I don't know. As a
fresh.
as a grown up, I think what you're supposed to do is drink better stuff, and I think the hangovers and stuff get like a little easier to bear. You just can't be drinking like some shitty fucking hood juice.
That's the thing, though. I don't even I don't
Drink
really
White
believe
Claw
in
like a
that.
white girl.
That gives me hangovers. White Claw gives me the worst. It's the sugar in it.
Sugar? I don't
Um,
think there's sugar in White Claw.
there's something in vodka. It's a vodka seltzer drink. Vodka in general. Bro, it doesn't matter, bro. The first hangover, the first time, it doesn't matter. It's to me, it's not really at that point. For me, it's not really what you drink. It really is how much you drink.
All right. Well,
Shitty liquors can give you, you know what I'm saying, like Still Reserve,
yeah,
malt liquor.
that's below shitty. That's like unsustainable living standard shitty. That's like pushing shopping carts in the side of the highway shitty.
I drank that when I was in Las Vegas. I was living in Las Vegas,
It's like
and I was like,
smoking Pall Mall cigarettes shitty.
it's like drinking a cigarette. It's like cigarette ash.
Oh yeah. All right. So just to get into the meat of like, or what this episode is actually about, it was going to be Jada Flame's tips to survive your 20s. You know, because Jada Flame actually managed to make it to 30 years old without dying. So he's going to give us his firsthand experience and wisdom and knowledge pertaining to making it through one of the most tumultuous yet exciting decades of a modern human's lifetime, which is your roaring 20s. So let's just start off. What would you say is the first tip for like young Zoomers who are like in pretty much the earliest stages of adulthood? Like, what kind of advice would you give to people like that?
So I would say, let's just say you just turned 18. Um, Depending on what your passions are, I would say, since you're right out the bat, if you're 18, go to school, go to college. And then when I say go to college, don't like, you can go to a community college. It's cheap as fuck. And then work during college as well. What you major in is kind of important. It depends on what you're passionate about. STEM subjects are guaranteed high paying jobs. Entry level 60,000 on up. Other majors, you might not really find a job in that field. It's a psyop. It might be bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, are
Um,
you telling me your first piece of advice to kids in their 20s is to go to fucking college? Are you serious? Are you kidding me?
yeah, bro. Yeah, because first 2 years of college isn't even like you don't choose a specific major. It's just general education. If I was a president, I would make that mandatory. From 18 to 22 is really nothing. To me, it's really like not that much like time you're wasting from age 18 to 22. But at the same time, it's not like you're just. I don't say don't blindly go to college. There's so many ways on the internet now. There's so many things on the internet that people. Because I know money is really important to people, and the way the world changed 10 years ago compared to now, you gotta be keen to like everything, every aspect of like life for people to save money, or you just have a high paying job. But between that time though, if you're just 18 and shit, uh, apart from college, there's so many things you can start yourself online. The internet is like the biggest resources, but that's just the financial aspect of it. There's also people's passions. There's also if people got like people are in the music, people are in the art, people are in the martial arts, some shit. If you're someone that's into boxing, I'm gonna be like, fuck college. You know what I'm saying? Train 10 hours a day, run every day, do push-ups, go to your local gym and fight people every day. That's that route. I guess my main point is just like don't be lazy when you're like 18, 19, but also like live life. But those are like important things though. You can be around like the wrong people, bum ass motherfuckers.
Okay, so you say don't be lazy, which all right, I guess that's good advice. I guess be proactive. Um, what would you say to like younger adults who haven't really put much thought into what they even like to do, or maybe like they just never really got opportunities in life to like really examine or like explore that part of themselves where they don't even like we could say, oh, I like music, I like martial arts stuff, but there's people out there, they don't even know what the fuck they like. All their like literally every day is just trying to like keep up with what they think society expects of them, like what would you say to those people who just have no fucking clue?
You know, well, some people like me, I didn't know a lot of different type of things existed in life when I was like 18. I didn't know there were jobs for certain things. A lot of people don't even know they have certain skills that they just haven't harnessed yet. But that how should I explain it? I still say college because that first 2 years is just associates. You're just generally learning things, but at the same time, when people don't know what the fuck they want to do, like if they live in an area that's just in the middle of nowhere and there's no cool shit going on, it's like how do you figure out what you're into? There is the internet, but then the internet can pull people in a certain directions depending on where you hop into. But for people that don't know what the fuck they're gonna do, do you think it's really like that though? Like, do you think people, apart from like what people want to do as a career, do you think people don't really know what they want to do while they're in high school prior to them turning 18?
Yes, I think by and large, teenagers in high school don't have any fucking idea what they want to do with the rest of their lives. I think teenagers, for the most part, in the modern era, are mostly concerned with, I guess, like being a kid, which it's not, it's not their fault. Like it's what what adults tell kids to do, like enjoy it, be a kid. But that doesn't really say much to like prepare them, I guess, for like greater
Well, it
responsibilities and
depends on the
accountability.
parents too. This also depends on like how the parents influence the kids and stuff. But I know what you mean though. There is a lot of funness in the world. I even think adults are like acting like kids these days.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
do.
100%. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, and I refer it to like in the context of the modern era because when times weren't as easy, only like a few decades ago, people actually had to like button down and think more about practical things like their income and financial security and where they're gonna live for the rest of their lives and all that shit. So yeah, I think
When you say times weren't as easy, what like year range are you referring to?
oh, when things were harder.
Like when were things like harder? I just need to Like, are you talking about the 50s, 60s? Are you talking about during the Great Depression?
I'd
Like
say
me,
I'd say the 70s. The 70s was when things started
out
getting
of Vietnam. After that, when Marvin Gaye made "What's Going On, What's Going On,"
yeah,
how's it go when he dropped that?
yeah.
Nah,
But I'm talking like, like mostly like 50s, 60s, that's when shit was like a lot of fucking scary shit was going on and people weren't sure if they were going to die like any day now.
well, I
Um
think a lot of kids have no hope than ever. They have no like motivation to really like.
I mean, yeah, I agree considering like the suicide rates are sky high right now.
That's why it's either people are jumping into pleasurable things. I feel because they don't have like a some sort of like passion or hobby or purpose. People just start doing bullshit because fuck it. Um, a lot of people just don't have no hope. And then even like you mentioned, suicide rates and shit. It's like they talk about people not having kids. A lot of people don't want to have kids because like they have no hope or they broke. And
Yeah.
it's just like what was I gonna say? Going back to the suicide rates, I feel like psychology. I feel like psychology doesn't. Is psychology really tackling like those issues? Like, are they just everyone's broke? That's the issue. Everyone, you know what I'm saying?
So you're saying the modern institution of psychology is mostly concerned with treating the symptoms instead of the root causes of like all these dysfunctions and shit.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
slapping a band-aid over a much more severe wound.
Yeah,
Okay.
because and then it goes to a like what was I gonna say? It goes to an aspect of like how people were raised as well. Of
The
course, everyone's,
upbringing?
but now that kind of brings it to me. Like, if I ever have kids, like I kind of want to toughen them up.
Yeah, how would you do that?
Like, just anyway, discipline.
Mm,
Got
discipline.
to do chores. I'll throw them in a karate class.
I mean, that's like the best you can do. It's not like you can hit them yourself anymore. That's fucking illegal and probably abusive. So, next best thing is to throw them into martial arts or something, or any structured like practice physical
I don't mean
discipline.
anyone in martial arts that's like a douchebag.
Oh well, you
Maybe sport.
maybe you just
Well,
haven't been
some,
around too
yeah,
many martial
some, yeah.
artists.
But
So, for anyone tuning in right now, this episode is going to be about since Jada Flame here just turned 30, he's now bestowing his advice upon young 20-something-year-old bucks who are just trying to survive, into their 30s. And Jada Flame's giving us all the like I guess he's giving us the map, so to speak, to like follow and not die.
too much of a
Uh,
map. I'll be trans. I'm just a middle class American.
American.
A middle class American.
Yeah. All right.
Tell
So
you what.
yeah. So you feel like psychology isn't holistic enough. Like you feel like that. All the things that are basically prescribed to people. It's like, oh, you're this, you're that. You have this kind of mental illness or that kind of
Like,
mental illness.
how you gonna tell a motherfucker you got mental illness because they got to work 2 jobs and take care of their kids too, and they not getting no ass, and they all and they broke. Like, what? And they can't get a McDouble. They got to get a cheeseburger instead.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
that's definitely sucks.
take your pills. Here's your pills. No, it's not like that. I'm not against psychology. There's good aspects to it, but there's a general issue that I feel is causing a lot of issues in the country, and it's just people are broke.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not psychology's fault in and of itself. Maybe the problem is what we're expecting from psychology. Maybe it's not holistic enough of a thing, like a practice or a lifestyle or a study that can actually like satisfy the real concerns that are actually driving people fucking crazy, and not just like surface level things like, oh, there's your brain's just wired the wrong way. Here, take some pills. That seems kind of insidious. It's like,
And not all. I just want to say, not all therapists are like that.
well, therapists
Uh,
are different than psychologists,
or
and
psychologists. Well, yeah, and it's just like what was I gonna say? Going back to the advice too, and this is not really financial, but more so, I don't get financial advice anyway. But anyways, self-reflecting too. A lot of people, especially in society, a lot of people feel like they have to be social. There has become this big like social thing. Um, I think self-reflecting alone, being in your own mind, a lot of people don't really do that, and a lot of people can solve problems just that way, like little.
Little what? What'd you say?
Oh my bad, I was muting myself because I opened this can. Just tiny problems in their life on like a lower level, and then how that will just gradually go up to affect like the bigger problems in their life.
Okay, so yeah, I think interestingly enough, on one hand, I think we're becoming physically less social. Like we're spending more time alone. We're spending more time by ourselves in isolated spaces, like physically, but mentally, we don't have like space, spaces of like solitude. You know, so that we could actually like reflect in solitude, because you know then you could think more clearly without other people's intentions like crowding your own. So I think it's, you know, mostly due to technology. We all have like smartphones and shit. We all have like technology that'll always keep our consciousness hooked in to like the realm of like, you know, digital media and like content pretty much. So it's never like we're in our own thoughts. It's mostly like we're in someone else's thoughts constantly. So I think, you know, it's a weird situation because, you know, on one hand, physically we have the solitude that we physically used to crave so much and thought was such a novelty, but now that we have it, we're spending most of it just connecting to people anyway. So it's like this redundant kind of isolation. True isolation, I think, has to be willfully applied, and it's not as easy as just saying like I'm just gonna lock myself in my apartment for a week. Yeah, and then what? Like eat like shit. You don't exercise. You're just gonna stay on your phone. Like you're gonna jack off to porn. Like what exactly are you gonna do once you fucking isolate yourself? You know. So it's definitely more than
That's
just.
crazy. I was just looking up. I was like, dang, do they have like a retreat I can go to? That's like in the woods where there's no
No, it's the wrong way to look at it. You got to look at it as just do it yourself.
well,
You know,
like, yeah, you're right too. Yeah,
just
it's
do it
either go
fucking
out
yourself. Just fuck it. Don't rely on some like
there. Yeah,
getaway camp or like institution to like
yeah, that's
try to
right.
fix you. You have everything you need. Like when I was
Yeah,
going through like that fucking period of like psychosis during my spiritual awakening, at least I knew like even if I was going crazy, I'm in my apartment, I'm on my living room couch, I have food, I have water, I'm not gonna die, you know? So it's like I allowed myself to just fucking lose my shit. And so that allowed me to like do my shadow work and confront like my inner darkness, because everyone's got it. And the problem is not everyone has properly integrated it. So it ends up like eventually repressed, and
yeah,
it starts like getting out of control. And that's what happens to most people. That's why you get cases of like a midlife crisis. That's why you get cases of like massive depressive episodes that could literally take a person out. Like this is the reason. It's because they don't reconcile with all the bad things within them that they just pretend isn't there, that they just kind of like lock away and then pretend it's gone, but it's not gone. It's never gone. It's still there. You just haven't properly like dealt with it.
that's how I feel. People grow old and become bitter,
Oh no, we're
angry.
talking way more serious. Like this, you've
Oh
never
yeah,
seen.
no, I know what you mean, but I feel like it's still. I feel like a lot of people, you can still tell when certain people are like, I don't know, saying shit out of like just miserable, or just like maybe it's just genuine some shit, just like But I know what you mean exactly. That when that shit is like super repressed, crazy shit.
Mm-hmm. So
Motherfuckers do crazy shit.
so yeah, that's why things like shadow work are important. And if you look at like any, I mean, I don't know, like I guess they're pretty rare and few and far between in society. But if you actually talk to someone who's like to a really high degree, they're self-actualized. They'll all like uniformly all empirically tell you it's like, yeah, I had to go through that dark night of the soul. I had to go through that really, really fucked up existential break, you know. And it really is like going crazy. It's psychosis. It's technically, and I think psychosis, when everything, like every sense of like your whole sense of self is broken. You can't rely on anything around you. You're just everything's like completely shattered that you thought was like rock solid. And yeah, that'll change you. That'll fucking change you. But it changes you for the better ultimately. It makes you more authentic after something like that, you know. So yeah, that's what I think people in their 20s should prepare for personally.
for like a for for a mental crash.
A dark night of the soul. It's just a part of
Nah,
everyone's story. It's like everyone has to live out their own story, and like the dark night of the
or
soul is
else
like
you're gonna
one of
live
the.
off someone else's.
What's
Yeah.
up?
No, I said if you don't live out your own story, you're gonna live off someone else's.
I mean, that's still living out your own story. Maybe your story is to live out someone else's story. Who fucking knows? I'm saying, like, it's regardless of what your story is, like, you are going to go through that break at some point, and it's either going to be really, really, really bad and end really, really, really bad, or it's either going to be really, really, really bad and end really, really good. You know, it's a key part of like character development in the cosmic narrative. So, yeah, I think, hey,
I get you, man.
yeah, financially, resources, shit. Yeah, all that stuff could be picked up. Who fucking cares? But no matter how much
Yeah.
money you have, no matter what resources you have.
That, but I know what you mean as well. Because on the other hand, there are lots of Zoomers that are on point with that type of stuff.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't see it here. I don't see it. Facebook is kind of like you said. I said Facebook is like you're only going to see shit from your friends and family. But like the shit, I see some of these Zoomers post. I'm like, damn. Because everyone has access to the internet. And the people that do want to look for knowledge, information, they actually do, and then find stuff. And then other people that just more so soak in whatever they see. Initially, it is what it is with that. But
Yeah.
spiritually, like I don't know, with that stuff, we still gotta. Some people already been through things like that in their childhood or teens or whatever. That's cool. But like you said, prepare for it in your 20s. Um, Still, I guess it depends on upbringing. I guess if people had came up with I feel like if you had came from like a drastic upbringing, then, and they say this about like CEOs or some shit too. Um, but like if you came up with like a drastic upbringing, that's kind of like a make or break a person type of thing as well, in my opinion. But it will, if you do make it, I feel like it kind of boosts you even more. Kind of just boost your mind of how you like on your outlook on life going forward.
All right, so the thing is, everyone's going to go through bad shit. That's just the God-given truth. Some people will go through worse shit than others. That's true too. But everyone, no matter who you are, at some point you're going to go through some terrible shit. You know, to various degrees and at different frequencies. Once the idea is, the people who make it further, higher up the ascension ladder. The question is, how good are you at turning the bad into good? That's what alchemy is. That's what transmutation is. To take something from one state which wasn't serving you, which is, by all definition, ruining your life, and transmuting that, shifting that, turning that into something that's going to help you, that's going to work with you, that's going to align with your interests and align with your wellness and your sense of well-being. That is that's the game. That's the real game, because no other game you choose to play is ever going to work until
no
you
matter what.
no matter what you pick, whether it's music, whether it's sports, whether it's business, it doesn't fucking matter. If you don't get that inner game down first and mastered, nothing else works. So that's why I say prepare for that. And the only way you get through that you master that inner world, you're gonna go through something like a fucking spiritual awakening. You're gonna go through a personal reckoning with your ego, and you're gonna have to figure out a way to, like, first of all, your ego is going to lead you to all sorts of fucked up places, all sorts of mistakes and mishaps. So it's up to you spiritually to reconcile with your own ego. First of all, forgive your ego. It's like, listen, man, I know you were just doing the best you could. You're a stupid ego. All you are is my body. You get horny when you get horny. You get angry when you get angry. You get sad when you get sad. You didn't know the actual truth. You didn't know the true identity of who we are. I am the soul. You are the ego. You are the body, the flesh. It's once you able to have that dialogue, and then it's like, and then purify each part, self-identify each part, and then they come together again. It's like, all right, I'm the soul, you're the ego, let's do this together, and that's what's supposed to happen. That's the positive outcome of like that kind of break.
People gotta some shit has to hit someone in someone's life, and if they either learn from it, cool. If they don't, it's just gonna happen again.
Yeah, Yeah. I mean, that's another, that's like what the Buddhists have been saying that forever. It's like you're going to repeat the same lessons over and over and over again in this lifetime or the next 100 lifetimes, and you're going
Keep
to keep
dropping it on your ass.
until you learn it, until your soul can release that karma. You're always going to be doomed to repeat the same lessons over and over again. And that's real shit. You know, it's like you just said, you're gonna end up repeating the shit. Same shit's
But
gonna
it's
keep
just
happening
like,
to you.
I don't know, it's just crazy because it's just, and I know this is probably off topic or even, like you said, psychosis or something major happening in your life, but even that type of stuff, recognizing like patterns and how to fix them at an early age, learning those things can like affect your brain and how it, like how you're able to do that at an older age.
Yeah. You know, now that you mention it, it's actually really interesting when I'm online and like go into like weird like esoteric Facebook groups about ley lines and chakras and shit like that. I would I would go off on, I would just make a comment, and I would basically cover the basics in that one comment. I'd be like, yeah, we're all creators of our own reality. How we think, feel, and act ultimately determine what our surroundings are and like what our reality is going to be. And every time I say shit like that, it gets like good reactions. And I look at the people who like really like react well to it, and they're all in like their 50s or 60s. I'm starting to feel like the people on the same wavelength as me are in their like 50s and 60s generally. Like they're that far as yogis or like spiritual people or like some new agey some shit. I don't fuck whatever they're into. They tend to be a lot older, but we're on this. We get the same shit. Like it's been interesting,
They
like
just made, I don't know, it's just, I feel like it's a different game navigating through that compared to back then. And maybe, I don't know, maybe they aren't.
well, we got the internet because that's how I got rapidly brought up to pace, with all this shit.
Yeah, but do they see the same internet like Zoomers see?
I don't
You
know.
see
I mean, you don't need to go that deep. Like all you have to do is just go to YouTube and you will find like, I mean, yeah, like we all have mixed feelings about spiritual gurus, and a lot of them are fucking predatory. A lot of them are just like grifters and fucking shysters, snake oil salesmen. But I like the ones that really don't have to try to sell you anything. They're not really telling you anything crazy like get rich quick. All they're telling you how to do is just like master your emotions, master your feelings, how to like feel good instead of shit inside, like regardless of how much money you got, there's people that still feel like shit no matter what they do.
Yeah,
This is how you do it.
They off themselves.
Yeah, so this is how you do
I'm
it.
off the bill or some shit. That's
So
crazy.
this is how you do it. This is the game. It's alchemy. It's
That's
that.
why I always say like me, bro. Like, and I don't know, this might be mentality I have, but I don't care too much about It's all a game. Materialism. It's all a game to me. It's like RuneScape. Just like slowly get up there. People even like you say, even being able. That's why, and I guess that's why I mentioned the whole financial thing, because some people, well, yeah, some people get fucked and don't really got the time to have introspective with their own life. But at the same time, like you said, if you know the underlying rules of the game in general, then anything is just easy to you, which is a whole nother concept.
Well,
And to
there
me,
was. Do you know Miyamoto Musashi?
the name sounds familiar.
All right, he's that legendary samurai. He invented the two-handed two sword style and all that shit. But he had a really interesting quote. He was like, what if you see the way in swordsmanship, you'll see the way in all things, and that's so true. It's like what you just said when you were like, if you kind of if you get the main game, then you know how like everything works. You could figure anything out at that point, which is true.
Yeah, there's like underlying, like I don't know, like even started. I would say the first thing I got in debt with was like music production.
Yeah.
Like 14 years old growing up, but
Yeah, me too.
I'm not
actually.
like, I don't really like I'm not, I wouldn't even say right now I'm not even like a programmer. I'm still a beginner programmer. But going into programming for music production was easy. Going into stuff like Photoshop is kind of easy, but this is all still digital stuff. If you translate it, even like when I go to the gym and work out, I know people, having a good trainer is important, but like it's so easy just to find like how even that shit works, how to like master that. But I don't know. I think it's just because knowing the underlying game is like, I think there has to be things that are introduced in your life to kind of really know how things work on that level, and lots of introspection as well.
Yeah, introspection is definitely important. You have to figure out your own.
Because if you don't sit there and tackle problems in your head, I don't know. Some people say they can't hear in their head. They can't talk to themselves. That's another conversation though. But like, if you don't sit there and just like dissect shit in your head all day, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just like a nerd like that. Then you'll never really like. I don't know. You'll just figure shit out. That's it. Figure shit out.
Um. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's
I feel like I should explain it. Let me think of a scenario, bro. Think of scenario. Um, like even if you're a kid, like this shit, like you don't. Do you ever remember having like introspective like conversations in your head as a kid?
yeah.
Like you like I don't know, even this little shit like you 3 years old at the playground. Like
Well,
you
you
like,
know why? It's because
I talk like this. You know, like
it's because I grew up as an only child. You know, if you grow up with siblings, you're less likely to have like those as many introspective experiences. Whereas if you grow up as an only child, all you have is time to fucking think because there's no one else around. I was
I was
also
only child till like maybe first grade or some shit. I
yeah.
remember shit.
I grew up for a while as a only child too, for like the earliest parts, and that's going to give a kid a lot of fucking time to think. And I think those kids who grow up with like as only children end up like being like extremely imaginative, probably more sensitive too. But yeah, I think well, this
I
is
think
good.
timing is a
Well,
lot.
this goes back to what we were saying before about solitude. Solitude is the only way introspection becomes unlocked. Because unless you're alone, you're not going to be doing any introspecting. Period. You're going to be so caught up with like the people you're with, the people that are around you.
So for these situations though, 'cause, like people work like people go to work and shit, or like
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a big. All right, that's another big problem. Getting in the way of people's ascension, which is
and
all
that's
right.
why
So this is
and
the
that's
real.
why that's
This,
why hold on, let me just say this though. That's why I mentioned the whole thing about like I guess the financial aspect because from 18 to 22, those ages aren't nothing. You can from those like I said, it takes 4 years to come up. If you're like flat out broke in America, unless you live in Tent City for free, that's different. That's ultimate interest. Like you can be homeless, fuck it, zen, no taxes, nothing. Don't do food stamps.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Meditate all day, live under the bridge for free.
yeah,
Ultimate base woke. Ultimate,
yeah,
ultimate defeat the system.
yeah.
But, people work a lot, and that's another. I don't know. I feel like the whole society works a lot these days compared to back in the day. And I think of shit like I saw the Apple movie when Steve Jobs was creating Apple and shit, and he had friends that were able to like work for him for free and shit, blood, sweat, and tears. No one's trying to do that shit these days without no pay. Oh, let me go help my friend. The company ended up becoming $1 billion company, of course, but like a lot of people, if you tell them I got this idea, I need like 5 people to come out, people are gonna be like, "Oh, bro, I gotta take care of my kids, bro. Okay. Oh, I gotta go to work, bro." Like you can't do shit like that these days. Even companies are started with introspective like that.
You're right. I say a lot of that has to do. Okay, so this is first of all, let's run that back to what you were saying about. Yeah, I was like, you were right. You know, that's why, you know, on a path to self-actualization, self-development, I guess, you need money is going to have to be in the picture somehow because money is just like a representation of value. You know, it's the exchange of value. That's all it is. It's I did this, I produced this, so this is the value that I generate with what I do. Give me a representation of that, and that's money. Money is the representation of your value. Which don't get me wrong, it's not a rock solid system. It's definitely very much exploited and pretty broken at this point. But you're gonna have to like probably contend with it in some form always in your life. So yeah, I think you're right. It is important
When I say go to college, I'm saying like I'm talking to the person that's flat out clueless, doesn't know anything about the world, just as some type of basis. Because you can just drop out, bro. Once you find some shit out that you want to do or come up, you just drop out. Figure out how to run a business with AI and shit, automated drop shipping shit, I don't know, some shit like that. But that's why you see these like a lot of like these spiritual people types I have met have like or like the stereotype of like the tech CEO being like some spiritual person. It was on the Black Mirror movie, I think. So, but it because that money, it just leads to that being able to have time. Time is like valuable because time is when you can do shit you want to do instead of like not for other people.
Well, I appreciate. I mean, the way I see it, it's if you go through something like that, you're gonna want to, I guess, do something of service. You know, you're gonna feel a sense of service because here's the deal. It's such a massive shift in like in not just perspective, but like your actual being. Like you feel it in your physical body. You feel your body change as you spiritually awaken. You feel, I mean, I didn't document this kind of shit, but people are saying like you feel your body getting like less fatter. You feel your skin getting better. You feel yourself getting better sleep and naturally being in a better mood. You feel your head getting clear. You feel yourself being able to, go on for longer in physical activities, which, in a literal sense, if you don't say it so intuitively, but in a literal sense, I say, well, a part of spiritual awakening is self-alignment. And what is self-alignment? It's mind, body, and soul not at war with each other, which means if you're taking care of your body, you're eating better, you're working out.
I was about to say, like, overall, just
so like
everything you're doing is like part of that.
Exactly. So that all helps each other to get to that point. It kind of feeds into each other once you have that right intention
That's
set.
another thing, bro. People eat like shit.
Yeah.
All these
yeah, they eat like shit and they don't work out. Like they eat like shit, they don't exercise, they don't do cardio.
Like shit, work out. You know, bulk season. It's bulk season. Fuck it.
No, I mean, I'm honestly, I could honestly say I'm in the best shape of my life, and it's only been getting better. With the less stuff I guess I do, with like the less shit I eat, like it's just, I also just work out more, replace it with like more plant-based foods, and this isn't stuff that like I necessarily think like I do out of virtue, like about saving the animals. I mean, yeah, I guess that's kind of a part of it. Everything's got a soul, right? But also it's like, it's just less biological clutter going into your cells. It's more just like lighter, less dense, more closer to light, the density of light. Basically, you want to be as dense as light. That's how.
The thing is, I eat meat, bro, and it's like I even believe in that animals have like even the way they're killed or slaughtered or their conditions living.
Well, I think I ate meat for a long time because if you're a person, like let's say you're put on this earth as a soul, you're here for a reason. You're here to like live this life, to learn what you're supposed to learn in this life, to experience things, to gain some skills in like a human body, in a human form, and in a human lifetime, maybe many times over. So you do this term in this human lifetime. And yeah, you're gonna go through dense three-dimensional shit. You're gonna go through violence. You're gonna go through abuse. You're gonna go through some trauma. You're gonna go through like some crazy shit that's going to test your well-being, your physical well-being, the physical form you're given. So you need strength, and protein is actually like a straight shot. It's a hard game, and protein is a hard nutrient that's going to get you through that. That's why I don't think like even spiritually meat should be completely taken off the table, but it shouldn't be abused. It shouldn't be taken
like, pork is Islam and Jews are against eating pork, and I understand why.
Well, all right. So the idea of cutting off meat is because eating the carcass of another animal. Like if you look at different religions, will tell you different things about it. But I think in like the most literal, logical, spiritual sense, like the most pragmatic sense, it's because eating animal comes with all this karmic baggage. Like this animal lived its own life. This animal had its own destiny. This animal had maybe a family. This animal had all sorts of history, and you just came and you robbed it of all of that. So you assumed that being's karma. Whereas plants are different. Plants almost like kind of exist to be nutrient givers to us. So it's like, in a literal sense, it's reprogramming your cells. So if you're eating animals, you're programming your cells to create a being that's capable of withstanding like war, carnage, battle, that's able to overpower other men. That's why having protein can be good if the role that you're playing at this point in time requires that kind of strength and that carnal energy.
And I believe in the animals are for us to eat, but at the same time, I do think that eating animals shouldn't be taken for granted.
it's a different game. So there's two games to play on this planet
I
Earth.
know what you mean though as well, because I have taken that into
Well, if
consideration.
you're living on this earth, there's the normal material game, which is who has the most wins, might makes right. Who, if I have the most, then you can't fuck with me. Then I could live in peace. Like basically more combative, more like historic, more like what we're used to, colonial, right? Empirical even. So it's like there's that game that most of us are playing, and that's because what we're all indoctrinated to. And then there's the other game, the spiritual game, the more like leading towards like actualizing oneness and in a holistic sense of well-being for everyone, and not just us, because we're all souls in deep, beneath the bodies, beneath the flesh. We're all souls just having human experiences. And if we all realize that, we would realize we're all connected. So we would, we would do better. We would make the world a better place. We would treat each other better, because we realize helping others is ultimately helping ourselves. If I help you, you're just another me. So ultimately, I'm just helping myself. So that's why if you understand the spiritual game,
you reap what you sow.
Exactly.
That's basically how.
All the religious texts and the spiritual traditions and all, and like
that's
they're
why,
all say the same shit.
That's why I'm like eating it. I don't know. I just look at when I mean, I don't know. I might be ignorant on this, but when cultures ate animals, slaughtered a cow was like they kind of celebrated it. And then like I don't know. I feel like a fish is all right. I don't know. What do you think about fish?
I mean, I already told you like what I think about all this. It's what game you're playing. If you're playing that material game, then you need animal protein. You got to be strong enough to fight, and to fight you need animal energy. You need carnal energy.
I have seen that duality kind of to like you said, the material game.
But if you want to ascend, if you want to play, if you want to be more of a spirit, if you want to ascend, then you can't. Then you got to let that shit go.
My brother's vegan. Hardcore. My brother's hardcore vegan, so I feel it. But he's like
he probably lives feeling way better about himself every day, and that's like very powerful.
I was gonna say, so yeah, I totally get that as well. The material aspect versus the spiritual.
I mean, look. I'm not saying one game is more important. In fact, I think it's necessary. We're here for a reason. So I admit it fully. Like
war, like you said, we have to fight in war, battle.
Yeah, we have to protect the ones we love. We have to protect. Swords. Yeah, we have to protect the things we want. So it's like
every day. But if I'm off that, Luke Skywalker in the cave, Yoda, chilling.
But I think like it really helps if you're conscious of it. Like even if you do eat meat, if you're conscious of why you're eating the meat, of why you need the protein, and your fundamental understanding of what you're like taking into your body and why you're taking it, and then it's like the implications of it energetically, and like how that affects your interactions with your reality, then it's not bad. But you got to do it for the right reasons, and you can't take it for granted. That otherwise you become a glutton,
Yeah. Though I would say, I know what you mean though, to become a glutton, but I would say overall food groups, meat isn't really, well, I don't know. Eating meat is like, it's like a hit or miss thing. Because some people just flat out say eating meat will just lower your life expectancy and all that stuff.
No, for some cultures it was the only way to survive. Like imagine like being in the cold and there was like no room to grow vegetation, no season to grow vegetation. The fastest way to get like the proper nutrients to be able to like weather out cold weather like that, you need meat, you need protein.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I have no problems with eating meat. I eat meat still, but I've been eating less meat, because it's just my priorities are shifting, Like I'm not like I don't really need to go around being like the fucking top dickhead, just like beating the shit out of people. Like that's not who I am really. So, I mean, I still need meat because I'm a martial artist. Like I need enough of that fucking carnal juice to be able to like do my shit.
Well, you got plant-based meat if you're trying to get on that. You probably already mentioned that, but
I mean, no. I mean, I'm specifically trying to take in another animal's energy. I don't like. Otherwise, you're just masturbating.
I said plant-based protein, but yeah, unless you don't believe in that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm eating if I'm
garbanzo beans got hella protein.
Yeah, there's plant-based proteins that are really good for sure. But I'm not talking about just the protein. I'm literally talking. I mean, eggs is the same thing. It's another animal's like, especially if they're fertilized. Like they come from somewhere. They come from another animal's, maternal energy. I don't know. I'm just talking about energy from like other mammals. Consuming it, using it.
I generally know what you mean though.
Okay.
I've taken that in like consideration. I just don't know if I'm ready yet.
I'm
I
not
try to
telling
go.
you, dude. I'm not telling you to do anything. Like
Oh no, no,
I'm not trying to
telling you
convince
that
anyone of anything.
I
I'm
went
just saying,
vegan
like,
once. I went vegan for like a month, and then it ended up me like going to McDonald's and telling them to put like a hash brown between the biscuit buns and stuff. I was doing wild shit. It's cool though. I love like plant based foods that are like not like processed shit. Be hitting. It's like just seasoned vegetables and shit. But
uh, yeah, I know how to make a bunch of Korean shit. So like even if I'm just eating vegetables, I could still eat pretty good stuff. I can make some pretty good stuff. I like to cook a lot. It's,
that's another thing too. People got psyoped by restaurants, scamming everybody and shit. No, most people don't know how to cook. You can save like, bro. It's like these restaurants are serving you frozen TV dinners and shit. People don't even know it because they don't know how to cook. Because they just like people don't know how to make music, so they just like set. Well, it's the same shit, bro.
oh wow, that's a good point
Same
actually.
shit, bro. Like, look at like music and cooking. It's like you got producers that make the entire beat from scratch, just like you got chefs that make the entire dish from scratch. And then
I
like,
honestly, I think it's just creative energy. Some people just don't have. It's not that they don't have the creative energy. It's they don't recognize or acknowledge their own creative energy. It's like a muscle that's never been used. If it's never been used and it's still there, it's just dormant. It's a dormant like reflex. It's a dormant ability. If you just like add the slightest bit of like neural electron, like neural energy into it, that's enough to like spark it and to get the gears turning. But they're not willing to do even that because of fear, because they're afraid of looking stupid. They're afraid of looking like a novice. They're afraid of the beginner's grind. They're afraid of like learning something new.
I don't know. Like, I guess going music wise, it's just like you're
You,
right
do,
though.
you don't remember the
People don't
grind when you're first learning music? It sucks. When you're first learning music production, it fucking sucks. It's like, it's a shitty fucking grind. You have to learn the whole DAW. You have to learn what like different modules do. Then you have to learn about signal
everything.
processing. Then you have to actually,
Photoshop, Premiere.
you have to gain an ear for frequency mixing, like actual EQing. Like that takes time. You can't just like, I
Yeah,
mean,
but you can just drag. It's literally not even well. You said you played in a band before. I remember,
yeah.
or not played in, but you played music before.
I mean, I played in a band
It's
and
not
I've
really a
jammed with
matter.
some bands.
It's not really a matter of creating music. It's just finding the best combination of clips, audio clips that sound good together. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, that's like
I don't
recording.
know.
That's more for like recording, I think, and
No, I meant
producing.
like for example producing on Splice. You can find a melody loop that goes hard, already processed, equalized well, compressed well.
Yeah.
Drag it in, boom. Everyone, and then you show it to someone. Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, you made this!" Yeah, I mean, and then like that's how easy it is. But the whole looking dumb in front of people or struggling, people these days skip that phase, and they want the title of something.
Hmm.
And it's like, I don't know. There's levels of how people perceive like how skillful people are at certain things, how
Yeah.
creative they are. But it's
Yeah.
just like, my bad. Going back to cooking, I'd be mad at restaurants, bro. Like if it's not like authentic restaurant, it's just to me. It's just this Walmart frozen food.
Well, I mean, I mostly go to
Some
restaurants.
parsons sprinkled on it. Oh yeah, my bad. What were you gonna say?
I mostly go to restaurants just for the dining experience. Just to have someone serve me something. I don't have to worry about anything.
That's cool though.
They'll serve me drinks if I ask for it. It's the service that's usually, and the atmosphere. That's usually what I go for. The food, I mean, look, if I was serious about the food, I wouldn't be
You live in
eating.
New York.
What?
You have access to good food though all the time.
Yeah. So
That's different though.
I mean,
That's
look,
not even think about the food.
what?
You don't even got to think about how good the food is if the average restaurant has good food over there. I'm assuming.
You know what? That's a good point, but I just mean in general, like just eating out, like what it is. Like, all right, so
Well, that's different.
if you look at like the top, like if you go to a lot of like listicles or like locals pages and newspaper articles around here, like and you look at the page, it's like, oh, the best restaurants, the top 5 restaurants or some shit. They're just some mediocre fucking hole in the wall place that's just been around for a very long time. Usually the food isn't the best food you'll find in the city. I
All
mean,
right.
I'd say any major city has like 3-star Michelin restaurant, like 3 Michelin star restaurants or some shit. You know, it's just no average person. I'm not gonna eat there. I'm not gonna go to a restaurant and pay $400 a seat. I'm just not gonna fucking do that.
Oh yeah.
Maybe if I have like a lot of fuck you money, yeah, maybe that's a different story. But I don't. So, I mean,
I don't know. It just blows my mind how like apart from restaurants, the best like food I've eaten is just like people's houses, and it's just like
look,
once you break
to me, the best places to eat are the ones where you make the best memories. Period. I mean, the food is one thing, but it's really about the
that,
memories. If the
I
food is
feel
great and you have some bad memories in that place, you're gonna hate that place.
Jesus.
Am I wrong? Like,
Well, I say, bro, me and my girlfriend went to this restaurant and we was mad. It was an Asian restaurant and it had no Asians working there. I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Small portions, foods. It's just shit like that. Atmosphere, I guess. I guess if I was there to get lit, maybe a little bit, hang out, group of people, that's different. But I don't know. I'm just big on like food, and I kind of view food the same way as music these days now. Now that I like, have good cooking people that go in depth.
well, for me, it's I just eat to live. You know, that's all I do. Like, my whole thing is I'm trying to cut out as many unnecessary things as possible. What?
No, I feel that that just reminds me of like because I feel like you look at it like it's just unnecessary to really focus on food like that.
I mean, I could indulge in like good shit. Like I do. Like if I'm with a girl, we'll go out to some nice fucking gastro pub or some shit and get some fucked up burgers. I'm down with that too. It's just, my day to day, my normal day to day. First of all, I only eat once a day. So it's like I'm pretty specific about that, my one meal a day, like what I end up eating. And it's nothing crazy. Like I have like a steak once a week. Twice a week I'll have like some nice salad, that I make. I'll have like chicken thigh meat, fried just to get my protein in or some shit. I'm like, I don't need that many calories. First and foremost, I don't work a physically strenuous job. I mean, yeah, I do martial arts, but even with martial arts, it's mostly about conditioning. It's not like I'm trying to bulk up in any way. I'm not trying to like, become like super muscular.
No, you're just basically maintaining your weight and then probably just getting ripped in the process because you eat once a day.
Exactly.
And I eat once a day too sometimes. Just if you keep yourself busy, sometimes you just don't even think about eating and stuff. A lot of people eat just because they're bored. And I feel it. Shit, nothing else to do. I'm gonna eat some chips.
Yeah. I didn't realize how much I was doing that until I actively tried not to. Until I actively tried to say I'm only going to eat once a day during these hours. And I didn't realize like how close I got to just like accidentally just buying something stupid like a payday bar or something. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And it's a really sick exercise in self-control and like self-discipline, self-respect too. So
I'm aware of what I like. Even myself, like I'm not like even while working out. I'm not counting calories in my food. I'm not counting carbs or whatever. But I just generally know what I'm eating. Like, okay, if I eat this, if I go to McDonald's, it's gonna fuck me up. Not like it's gonna give me a stomach ache or anything, but I just know I'm gonna gain some pounds and calories. So I may not eat for 16 to 24 hours and just drink water and shit. But do you ever fast?
you mean just not eat at all? No,
Yeah.
I don't really have a reason to fast. I think intermittent fasting is already like a huge deal because it's
Eating once a day or just eating it? Yeah.
just eating once a day. Yeah.
No, it is. I have gone like day or two fasting. I can't do 3 days because I just end up eating. But
Yeah, but what it does, it really does, like, that's another spiritual practice, I think. I'm pretty sure, because anything where you deprive your body of desired excess, you're going to have this inner conversation with your body, whether it's jacking off, whether it's fasting, whether it's working out, whether it's not drinking, not smoking cigarettes, whatever it is. If you deprive yourself of something that your body, the flesh, wants, you're going to have that conversation. And some people are going to take it as a conversation with Jesus. Some people are going to take it as a conversation with their soul, their spirit. Some people, like, there's different ways to look at it. It's a metaphysical experience because, your body wants it. Like your ego wants this shit.
You just have to suffer.
I mean, you don't. I mean, your ego's suffering, but
Well, yeah,
but your ego's
exactly.
always suffering. So it's like, what difference does that make? It's your soul that matters in this case because your soul is eternal. Your ego dies with the body. You still have a soul. So it's your soul saying, no, 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 no,
Uh,
buddy. I'm sorry. I cannot be compromised by your little fucking petty desires. You know, I can't.
and going back to like the mental illness psychology thing, the whole I remember that it was that whole argument about like, oh, addiction is a choice, or addiction is a disease. I feel like whatever, blah blah blah, it's both. But what you just said is exactly the whole. There's something in your brain. You have these conversations
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah.
and depending on how you go about those, is if you actually can. Some people can quit things cold turkey. Some people have to ease into quitting stuff, and then some people just never quit shit. Some people just always have to deal with some shit.
But you know, that's all falls under the category of stuff like with self improvement. And when it comes to self improvement, it is really like an internal conversation, like an internal process, and you do have to have that talk. And you know, it's interesting because you know a lot of people could think of it in different ways. A lot of people just like you know they'll have that internal conversation, but they just have no idea. They don't even consider what that conversation even is in that nature. They're just like, oh yeah, you know, I just have that conversation in my head. They don't even stop and think. It's like, wait a minute, I'm having a conversation in my head. Who are the parties talking? You know, like who's party A that wants to do it and who's party B that's saying, nah, I really don't want to do this. So it's like once you figure out the nature of those two things inside of you talking and what those two things are separately, and like their relation to each other, that's when interesting things start happening, and then you start to gain more understanding about yourself to the point where yeah, all right, now you're in a position, since you have a better understanding of your own desires and your wants and the reasons behind those wants, and you're come to terms with them, and it's all
Yeah, 'cause
informed,
people
and
have these-
it's buried very deep, and a lot of people are really scared to like look deep inside and to figure out the root of their shit. They'd rather just live with it. They're just like, who
people
this is
have
who
these emotions that don't even really know how to process
they're
it.
just like, this is who I am. I'm just a person who gets depressed. I'm just little Miss Doom and Gloom. I'm just this, I'm that. I can't be any other way. I've never been any other way. I can't change.
Do you think that was more of a thing with older people, or because these days you can see some type of mental self help on a meme, or just like that, on a day to day basis, people see a lot of self help things more than before. But I don't know. That's just my observation.
Um,
Because like people have to
Look,
recognize these
when it
concepts.
comes to the most popular schools of self help and all that shit, like, I mean, let's talk about like the most prominent ones in pop culture, right? It's in pop psychology. There's Secret, like the law of attraction and stuff like that. Which I'm not knocking it, but I'm gonna point out that The Secret, the law of attraction, isn't just really a scam, and it's also not new, as in like a new age modern thing. The Secret pulls from very, very, very old traditions and old
Yeah,
practices, like
that's from my dad. My dad showed me that.
yeah,
Um,
like from Rosicrucian schools, from fucking Hermetic schools,
yeah,
and like of spiritual practices and like metaphysics and shit.
Christian generally like said
The
just
Pythagorean Society, a lot of the contributions they've made to this kind of like inner work. All the greatest minds in history all allude to like the same shit. Nikola Tesla, fucking all of them, every single one. They were all privy to this game, this inner game of inner mastery and like inner alchemy. And it's time to like not keep it hidden. It's time to make it normal. And obviously, like, imagine you're like one of the 0.1, like the 1% of the 1%, right? Imagine you're one of those people, and like, imagine right now, the masses before you are all stupid. They're all playing the materialist game because they don't know about anything about a metaphysical reality. How scary! Wouldn't it scare you if like there was a chance that all the masses just started waking up? Like, you'd want to do your best to prevent that, because what happens, you lose all control. If a global spiritual ascension occurs, then the 1% of the top 1%, they're going to end up losing control. Like,
I mean, there needs to be a global psychosis.
that's exactly what we're talking about. Look, when I said psychosis, that's just one small phase
Yeah.
of the whole process.
Like,
The psychosis comes like basically as a product of ontological shock. You know, like, oh shit, you're saying this is all bullshit, this is all just a game, none of this really fucking matters. Yeah. Like, your job is not that fucking important. You know, like, your Instagram follower count is not that important. Your fucking financial situation is ultimately not that important.
That's all bullshit material. And that's what I meant, like,
Your trauma, I'm sorry,
maybe
you
a
gotta
good
let that
thing,
go.
like, I don't want to say it's a good thing, but like the way if more people are experiencing like crazy shit that they haven't experienced in their life due to like the economy or some shit going on, then that's just gonna push people a certain direction.
Yeah,
Like,
so there's gonna be I definitely do think there's gonna be a
compared
split.
to 10 years ago, you said there's gonna be a split.
Yeah, there's gonna be a split.
Like what? Like what? Like leftist versus right.
No, there's going to be
People
on one.
versus,
There's going to be on
war.
one end people all about raising consciousness, raising the global collective consciousness, and then there's going to be people who just want to double down in their political regimes, their fucking stupid material discrepancies with each other, their biases, their feeling of like isolation and separation from like everything. Basically, the antithesis of oneness, of universal oneness. Those people are going to experience a much different Earth than the other people who will be existing in a parallel Earth, which is going to be like more, you know, it's basically going. What?
Split.
It's going to be focused on
But-
oneness, unity. You know, it's going to be more conscious about like how they're connected, like their own being, their own existence is connected, and the reason behind their existence, and like who they actually are outside of just their flesh. You know, their fleshly forms. Like, I do think there's going to be a consciousness split, and it's going to be like a spiritual war. You know.
I can see it already happening.
Yeah, me too. I see.
As people, and I know politically, I know.
No,
I know
first of all,
that-
what's more interesting than fucking politics? Fuck that for a second. Like,
Well,
yeah,
no, I was going to say that politics is people are realizing politics is it's just bullshit. Left and
exactly.
right.
So fuck that for a second. I'm just saying, have you noticed, like, just by me
Yeah.
talking more about like frequencies and raising consciousness and like alchemy and inner mastery, it's really for no reason. Like there's people that just take it upon themselves to care enough to be like, no, that's bullshit. You know, that's not true.
Well, we were just, we posted that shit. Hold on.
And it's hilarious. I'm like, wow.
I mean, I'll go. I don't know. Just be fucking. I'll go. Like, I'll open up Facebook at like 12, 1 o'clock at night, and I'm like, damn, this nigga riding out.
Yo, but I'm not even like I'm not saying anything inflammatory.
But it's just like, nah, because like, it'll be the shit you'll say after the fact. After you'll say, oh, because you'll be like, why are y'all all bitching? I'm just giving y'all that advice, and it's simple, like, and it's just like, it's not even like no, it's like some general straightforward advice that's still like lit advice and shit.
Yeah,
And
because
people still get it.
yeah, because like the shit that I say, you have to like take it where you have to like take responsibility for the way you react to all situations, you know, for you to understand it. And people get the sense like that's the case, and when they're used to just using like hiding behind something about
Nobody
themselves,
want to admit they ain't shit.
exactly.
Even in the book of Romans, the guy was like, y'all all sinners. Y'all think you think you that nigga, dog?
No,
You
but
think even people act like they just don't want to admit they doing some fuck shit too.
Joe, but there is a way out. There is a way up, and like it's not like having more money at all. It's not anything.
That's why I always like. Well, this is just me personally. I always like, because I always like to put, like, it's funny. It's like an inside joke. Like, I'm always like, oh, I want to get a holographic Lamborghini. But at the same time, I don't care. Like, life is great. Life is good. Life is until you figure, like, how should I explain it? Life is good. There's aspects of money and one thing with money is like people are deceived by like.
No, listen, forget that.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, I was trying to say that there was a way up, you know, from like, you know, where I tell you it's like, all right, you have to take responsibility for your what.
I want to say beyond the material stuff.
No, I'm saying like there's a way to like properly believe in yourself, and that is like taking up a worthy challenge. That's what people forgot how to do. They got scared of like risking something for something they want. Like, do you remember over the summer when I won that sword tournament?
Yeah.
And remember, I was like, if I don't get first place in this, I'm going to shave my, and I meant it. And I told all my friends and family, so I was on the hook. And it wasn't easy. Like there's some tough ass dudes, like teachers and shit, that I had to beat, and to like in a tournament fashion, and to get first place, and I got first place. Like, so like after that there was like nobody could take that away from me. Like nobody could stand there and tell me that I didn't get really good at something awesome.
I'm the sword master, bitch.
Exactly, yo. So that's what I'm saying, and that I earned that. It wasn't just handed to me. That's something I saw, I wanted, and I sacrificed the necessary things, the necessary time and energy.
It just goes back to like putting a sacrifice in.
It's just exchange. It's alchemy. You know how alchemy is equivalent exchange. You have to give something up to get something.
That's why I don't think any. I'm like, why people? If you know at max that you can achieve some shit within a certain time period, there's no reason to like be tripping about shit.
Exactly. You have to believe in yourself.
You gotta be like, okay, cool. This is what I learned. Cool. And then keep it moving to the next thing. You might not achieve shit in your life, but as long as you kept riding out,
you got to take a chance. You got to take that chance. Like you got to keep doing it, and then you got to believe in yourself. If you don't, first of all, that's step one. You could have all the skills and all the ability necessary, but if you don't believe in yourself, you're gonna choke. You're gonna slip up. You're gonna drop the ball. You know,
Ozzy Osbourne has a song. It's the chorus. You gotta believe in yourself.
It's true.
No one will believe in you.
And you know what's funny? If you're a person with no talent, no abilities, no intelligence, like no intellect, and you believe in yourself strongly, you will get way further than the person with all those things who doesn't believe in themselves. That's like the fucked up irony in it. You know, like it's true. I'm by no means like the smartest guy or whatever, or like the strongest or the fastest, but I will say I'm good at building desire. Like I'm good
go back to music. Oh, my bad. My bad. Continue.
I was just saying, like, I'm good at wanting things. I'm good at building desire for things. And that's, like, the most important thing.
Going back to music, it's like, I know at the end of the day, you can hear someone's music and you're like, oh, this sucks. But that person that uploaded the song and somehow got it to you to listen, they believe in themselves.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like, fuck it. But yeah, people, that's a trait people can recognize. You can look at a picture of somebody while they're feeling confident and then while they're feeling like sad or whatever, depressed or low self-esteem, and there's like a big difference night and day. Someone can go from like a 5 to like an 8.
What do you mean? Oh.
It's like looks wise.
Oh, yeah.
Like, goals on all levels.
Well, attraction isn't just like it's also your energy, it's your vibe, like your vibration, like your frequency of vibration. That's what people got to remember. So it's all about frequency, it's like it's funny to me when people are out there saying, oh, frequency's like it's not real, the universe isn't sending you signals. I'm like,
there's just words. I think there's just words. I think people just, I don't know, I think when they just hear the word, they think a new age. To me, it's just, you can use, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But, I mean, I don't know. Unless people just don't flat out believe in that there's like some type of energy or people give off energies to other people or are receptive to that. If people just flat out don't believe it, that I don't know. I think there's things that they aren't aware of or they might be missing.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, everything is energy. Everything is just flat out like different frequencies of like energy moving, traveling from state to state. And I don't know, I mean, it doesn't really matter so much as insofar as how much it helps you like master yourself and like any,
you believe in, you get what you put in.
Well, yeah, there's manifesting your desires, but there's also like managing challenges, because that's what people have a real problem with now. It's like hardships come up and they don't have a real strong basis to believe themselves in themselves with. So it's like they end up just like buckling under pressure because they just don't even have a fight in them. They're like, nah, it's like, this is too hard. I'm not doing this anymore.
You got the Holy Spirit. You're supposed to be lit. What? That's what be. And that's the thing. Did I watch too much anime in my life? Like Dragon Ball Z, like my roots, I always thought like, turn up, go hard. That was always my mentality to life. That's why I'm like,
you're right. I watched a lot of anime too, and that's why I get like really hyped up. I get super super high energy about shit, because I consider myself a high energy person, you know, like that's I think that's more valuable than anything. If you have the most energy, you could do anything, you know, like anything.
There's a sort of motivation.
You could learn more. You could get stronger. You could become a better person. You could explore more. If you have more energy, you are automatically better than everyone. You know, like that's just what you know. It doesn't matter how much smarter a person is or how much
People
stronger.
have naturally more energy than others, and you know, it's not for some shit. You know, I don't believe everyone.
No, I think you know what I think. I think it's possible to become a channel for more energy. It's just you have to align the things properly. What is our entire being built up of? Mind, body, and soul. Like those are the three fundamentals that make us who we are. So if you're if the relationship between your mind, body, and soul gets stronger, that means you're going to be a vessel that's capable of carrying more energy, which makes sense. Like, yeah, you treat your body better, you'll be stronger, you'll be fitter, you'll have more physical energy. You treat your mind better. You unlearn like shitty thoughts that don't serve you, that like actually harm you and hinder you. You just let those thoughts go and you replace them with better ideas. And your soul. You identify as your spiritual self. You nurture your soul. And if you make those three elements like not at war with each other, your entire being becomes capable of carrying more energy. And that's the divine blessing. That's what the Bible says. Oh, you get God's gift if you.
As long as you have faith in like and it's like.
And you don't do fucked up shit to your and you don't do fucked up shit to your body. You don't overly indulge in alcohol or sex or anything. Yeah,
it's like
it tells you.
It's the Holy Spirit's inside you, and you have faith in yourself. People forget that a lot, though.
I'm just saying you can't have faith in yourself until you have a good reason to have faith in yourself. And what I'm saying isn't just the intention of having faith in yourself. I'm giving you the actual roadmap. Like if there's a step-by-step directions on how to like have the Holy Spirit within you, it's as simple as aligning your mind, body, and soul. Make it so your mind, your body, and your spirit are not at odds with each other. If you could do that, then you could honestly say you're more likely to receive blessings from higher dimensions, from higher powers, from God, from Jesus, from Allah, from whoever the fuck, you know, just that whatever higher that's clearly exists. There is something up there that's like beaming like higher wisdom and like instincts or some proper response mechanism that's just like if you're properly aligned within yourself, you're gonna experience life in a much more profound, better way.
Same thing about alcohol, drugs.
It's just because it's all it is different flavors of trying to remind you of the basics. Be good to your body, be good to your mind, be good to your soul.
The thing. How do there's people out there that don't even, because you have to first have that basis of you believe that there is God or
exactly. See, there you go. Now you see why faith is important. You have to have belief. You have to believe in a soul. You have to believe in your soul. Whether you believe in God, Allah, doesn't matter. You have to believe in your spiritual self.
Like people have these moments, not just psychosis is one thing, but even like you said, sword tournament, you believed in yourself. You had to believe in yourself. Like you didn't just go in. Like,
I wouldn't have made that bet if I didn't believe in myself. I had to believe in there was a part in my shitty heart that was like, you know, it was buried beneath all this bullshit that was happening. And then I was like, I think I could do this. Because I watched like a lot of anime and shit. I was like, I think if I work really hard at this, I could win first place. I could beat those guys, all of them. And then, you know, everybody was looking at me. They were like, are you serious? You're going to shave your head if you don't get first place. And I was like, yep. And guess what? I got fucking first place. So it's like, yeah, you have, and from like proving to myself that if I believe in myself, I could do something like that. That made it way easier to believe in other things, you know, like higher powers and shit.
I think that's I don't know. It's just crazy. Because you have to kind of promote people challenging themselves, and then you kind of have to believing in the self. It's just, from what I observe, bro, people, I don't know if it's just me, but people really don't give a fuck about themselves like that. People are, and then like I feel like celebrities kind of a idol. It's kind of like an idol thing to the point where people give themselves to that, or like you said,
idol worship. Yeah, people aren't over idol worship.
Movements and I know politics is important. People got to vote at the end of the day for shit. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know. I think the self is important.
But you know what? I think that's getting better only because I'm existing as I am now. I am existing as a spiritual being having a human experience. I am existing as a person who's actively trying to align mind, body, and soul. Yeah, I don't have it down perfect. Who does? No one does. Yet, I mean, I'm striving for that. You know, I'm trying to get better at it. So it's like, I think the more I embody this, the more I do it for myself. I don't even have to argue for it. I could just like show people, like, this is who I am. Like, as a person who actively tries to work on my active alignment of mind, body, and soul, this is who I've become. If you want that kind of benefit, if you want that kind of self like gratification, or just like that sovereignty or the ability of discernment, you know, then yeah.
You gotta influence other people and stuff.
What? No, I'm just saying, just be a good example. Just be a living example. Exactly. Just live by example. So that's why I don't have to go around like converting people. I'm like, nah, motherfucker, I know I'm great. It's like, I'll tell you exactly how I became great, though, because I believe in this. I believe in a higher power. I believe in the universe. I trust life. I trust the universe. I trust in this. You know, I trust in my experience. Yeah, I know that.
Get mad when you say this? You think they got like problems, issues?
Of course, there's gonna be there's gonna be so many people that take this the wrong way. You know, there's gonna be a lot of people that take it the wrong way.
Who do you think you are?
but really, what that really reflects is them. That's them talking to themselves. You're just like a stand-in for themselves. They're having a conversation, looking in the mirror right now, saying, "Who the fuck do you think you are?" You know, they wouldn't have gotten that mad otherwise. You know,
even people words. So like once you get past words, once you get past getting offended by words, I feel like that's a higher conscious right there.
Now, words are powerful. You cannot underestimate the power of words. I see it
in other ways, but I meant like on a lower level. See some shit get mad. I guess that's the power of words.
Yeah, so first of all, you can't just deny it. Like, you have to accept the fact that, yes, these words that I'm reading on the internet did make me feel a type of way.
Or what I'm about to say about the, you know what I'm saying, make people feel a certain type of way. But then again, some people look for things.
Well, you know what? The people who are best at making other people feel a type of way about the words they type on the internet are the people who can best recognize it within themselves. That's why I'm good at it, because I know it within myself. All my most scathing criticisms that I've ever written on a social media post, it was all the best ones came from like the deepest firsthand experience of it within myself. So when I talk about like the craziest, most fucked up criticisms that a lot of people just seem to get, it's because before I saw it in anyone else, I had to know it in myself first. That's why I'm good at it, because I'm honest at that level.
I kind of threw myself in situations throughout life, and this kind of goes against the sometimes fuck financial shit. Sometimes you gotta throw yourselves in situations, experience things. Some people don't experience things. You live in a sheltered life, you haven't experienced things.
That's true. I agree.
Sometimes you just gotta dip out, move somewhere. Fuck it. Cause it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's still life, but what was I gonna say? I'm not one to really call people hypocrites. I feel like
there's no point. It's pointless to call someone a hypocrite. Because
when people say certain things, it's because they've seen it firsthand, like you just said.
Yeah.
Like a lot of shit I say, I seen it, and it's just like a lot of people just go off. Like a lot of people's, when you talk to a lot of people, a lot of people do. Like when you talk to people and they just send you an article. But at this point, like I don't know, I've been through so much shit where it's like hang out with so many different cultures where like you can kind of observe shit and just know shit's happening. But people, I don't know, some people's only basis is like Vice articles.
I think you could just figure anything out as long as you empathize. You know, if you're able to like seriously just empathize.
That too.
If you could see, if you, all right, and you know what? This also goes into like how like terrible, I guess, ultimately that I could be to myself. If I have an enemy, like a person I truly, truly want to destroy, in a way, I have to go through this like self-immolating process where like I have to like find their deepest, most inner part that hurts the most, and the only way I could find that in another person is I have to first find it in myself. Is like as a person, because I consider myself a relatively like well-rounded.
Exactly what you mean.
So I have to put myself in their shoes and be like, what the fuck would hurt me the most? What has hurt me the most? What am I going to feel the most and like cry about and like get destroyed over? And I have to see it and do it in my head to myself. And then that's how I destroy another person. You're like, that's it. That's what I got to do to this guy.
That's more of a high IQ aspect of that shit.
I
That's why I don't
mean,
like.
that's how, you know what? Detectives taught me that. That's how the best detectives think. They have to think like a criminal. You know, you have to,
Lower level, like whatever insults is just whatever.
well, because if you have the less capacity for intelligence, you're gonna be more scared to identify with the villain. You're gonna be scared to be like, oh no, I could never think like that. Like I could never think like I could never think like a murderer or a rapist. It's like, well, are you serious? There's only one chance you can experience that. That's in your mind. You might as well do it in an ethical way. Like, so you might as well just like have a chance to say, all right, well, this is a virtuous reason.
People are like, oh, I side with the villain, though.
No, I'm saying this is a virtuous way to do it. You, if anything, you have to say the ability to empathize with like truly evil people is necessary to fix that evil in the world in the first place.
Know why? Yeah, they actually know why it's happening.
And that's why I don't feel bad like when I say like when I try to break down like a brutal murder and to try to like figure out what was going on in the person's head, like what, and try to figure out like common ground. Like, would I be able to be pushed for those reasons, like for not having sex my entire, like Elliot Rodger type shit, you know, like would that resonate with me? That's why it's dangerous. Like,
why the fuck this motherfucker went in and shot everybody and shit? Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah,
exactly. Like people, I don't know. People gotta be.
People have to be cautious with empathy, for sure.
Yeah, because you can be genuinely. Some people just hate the world. Some people, and because of like people can hate the world because they don't like seeing animals dying.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They don't like seeing war. But then they, you know what I'm saying, cause you to do some crazy shit, join a movement, some shit, join PETA.
Yeah.
But then you know what I'm saying, psychological. I don't know. It's just crazy because.
Well, I just think it's way more. I mean, I wouldn't be able to recognize the power in being able to identify with like all the people, not just the good ones, but the bad ones too. If you have the ability to truly empathize with like all kinds of people in this world and to be able to like see eye to eye with all of them.
Well, that's one thing.
No. What I didn't realize at first is how much power that gives you, and B, you only get that power in the first place because so many other people refuse to do it. So many other people, you'd be surprised. Like the majority of the people, they refuse to empathize. They refuse to think like the bad guy, which is always like really subjective. You know, that's always like based on like that's always based on some biased perspective. Yeah, but honestly, like if you're able to see beyond that and be able to empathize, you have so much power over everyone. Because it doesn't matter how different they are. It doesn't matter how evil you view them or how evil they view you. If you could think like them, you could work them. That's just the truth. That's always going to be the truth.
It's not just that. It's not just working people. It's just, I mean, even that marketing wise, that plays into that.
I mean, not just marketing them, but conning them, getting intelligence out of them, murdering them. Like
people are like, it's not even other people though. People are destroying themselves because of how they feel about somebody. Stressed out, like that's their whole life.
Oh yeah. There was this. Do you ever watch like interviews with people who've had near-death experiences?
Not in a while.
All right, so there's this YouTube channel that records interviews talking about their near-death experiences, and there was this one dude. He was like a pro-black activist, and he had a heart attack because of like all the literally because he was stressing out his cardiovascular system. No, I think it's just his vascular system. His heart basically just kicked out because he stayed passionately angry, at protest rallies and surfing, like doom scrolling on social media, just basically being hardcore angry activist. And he died. Had a heart attack, and he had a near-death experience. And in it, he went through the same, like the life flash before your eyes. You have your life review. You know, you go through like your whole past, and then he experienced God. He met with God, which was this like benevolent, warm, loving, caring light. It was all light. God is basically apparently light, a being of pure, like white light, almost so bright you can't look at it with like your earthly gaze. And Yeah, so this guy was like basically said like I was killing myself because of my anger. Because I was, because like I was just as much facilitating an us versus them mentality, which ultimately like that makes you less of a spiritual being. That keeps you locked into your like dense form, dense human form.
Bro, you're supposed to just forgive people, move on. That's all.
Exactly.
Don't
I
hold
mean,
it
it's
in.
really it's just
Agony.
first of all
Right.
it's forgiveness. You have to forgive people and not just forgive other
But
people because
forgive people. It's just like, well, my bad, because I was gonna bring up the whole like, I don't know, like a lot of people be mad at their parents
you got to
when they were
forgive your
growing up.
parents, yo. You got to forgive your
But you
parents. You got
can
to forgive your
understand.
abuser. You got to
Can't
forgive them
perceive
all.
you can't perceive how people's lifestyles were back in the day and blah 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 and what led to this. It's just like
You got to forgive.
but yeah, right off the bat forgive. Because
So like yeah, what you're
I,
talking about, like all the reasons. I'm just saying all of that shit, all the bad shit that happened, transpired in the past, could be solved if you just forgive. Forgive the people that fucked you over, and then once you do that, the second step is forgive yourself for fucking yourself over, for all the bad decisions you've made for yourself. You got to forgive both ends. You got to forgive other people, and you got to forgive yourself. And once you do that, you release all of it. Like all of it's gone. Then you could finally truly live unencumbered, baggage free. It's because the only reason why people have like a
real
lot of
shit.
baggage like
You
that is
want to do
because
that over and over in life.
yeah, exactly. So if you
Even when
want,
you're driving,
so you
someone
got,
cuts you off.
so the key is forgiveness. It's forgiving yourself and forgiving your abusers, your perpetrators, and be your own
Turn my
savior.
cheek.
No, it's not turn the cheek. It's forgive. It's forgive. I'm not saying forget. No one's telling you to forget, and no one's telling you to
Yeah.
like keep yourself around those people. Just forgive them and never talk to them again. Just because you forgive them
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
mean you have to be around them. Forgiveness could just mean, look, I'm not mad at you anymore, but I'm definitely not going to hang out with you
Yeah,
anymore. Like I forgive you, but I'm not fucking with you anymore. Goodbye
Yeah.
forever. Like like
Of course. Yeah.
that's
And
that's
that's
that's what it means to
whole
leave
thing,
someone
bro.
in peace. I
What I
leave
hate
you.
about it is so much artificial. I don't know. Because when you mention stories like that, activists having heart, there's so much like artificial, like, I don't know. It's just like the way shit's plugged into people, like you said, doom scrolling. The way shit plugged, like, I'll talk my shit. You know what I'm saying? Talk my shit. Get through the day. I'm at work talking shit. You know what I'm saying? Just, oh no. And then, like, and then once I'm off work, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I'm making music, gaming, working out, hanging out with my girlfriend, eating food. That's all just like whatever. It's cool. I do like. Don't get me wrong though. I do like talking about shit. I'm not gonna like get stressed out. Have to go to the hospital. At the end of the day, life is life. Humans are just people. If you understand how like humans are, it was in the Bible or whatever how humans are that they've been talking. The ancients been talking about for years. If you understand how humans are, shit won't be like a surprise. But my only thing is just art. Like it is artificial. There's a lot of artificial anger going on
Yeah.
with social.
Yeah, there's a lot of artificial. I mean, it's insidious because there's people that literally make a living off of people's distress, people's anxieties, people's fear. There's literally entire industries that sustain themselves off of the masses being constantly afraid, constantly anxious, constantly paranoid, constantly self-hating, and self-abusing. I mean, aside from like making themselves vulnerable and open.
Called Geass?
What?
You seen this anime called Code Geass?
No.
Or
Oh yeah, I
Geass?
did actually. Yeah, yeah.
That's just one key thing for that anime is like the political aspect and how they had the news and how they're like there'll be certain parts where they'll like twist shit up. They're like, okay, we got to make this look like this happened so that people can see this. And I'm like, oh no, I saw that shit when I was a kid, but that made me realize from that point I'm like, oh, this shit bullshit. Motherfuckers getting what's that word? Motherfuckers getting duped.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know, that's another thing too, because it's like even with I want to assume you was like on the internet 11 years old, 12 years old, 13, maybe. I don't know, but it's a whole different internet than now. And I'm saying like, having that the perception on the internet as well, because that's where people consume the most news. I feel like I don't know if you ever see like boomers post on Facebook or whatever, or like just I don't know if you just ever just lurk and just read dialogue on like certain posts, just see how boomers talk to each other versus how like people our age talk to each other, and then versus even how people that are like Zoomers talk to each other. It's all different. It's just crazy, and like how you people perceive stuff. Like I know you can look at a fake profile and you can already know it's fake. Most people can't. There's people getting deceived by AI and getting mad as fuck about shit, and it's only going to keep getting worse. And if you don't have like a recognition or like awareness of like I don't know what words to use. If you don't have like if you just aren't aware that the internet is bullshit and motherfuckers getting duped, then that's gonna like you said, it's just gonna keep you angry, agony.
I mean, in terms of what? Like, what exactly are you trying to keep up with that you're getting duped on? Like, what exactly? Because, like, I mean, you're clearly in the market. You're looking for something. What exactly are you looking for that puts you in such a position to get duped?
Well, you don't have to be looking at something. So
No, I'm just saying, like, like, really, what it's like. It seems like an easy fix, you know? As long as, like, what exactly it's. First of all, what exactly do you really give a shit about? Like, why do like?
well, not me. I'm not talking.
No,
I'm
not you.
talking,
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying like in that example, like what would a person like really? I mean, aside from getting duped for what exactly? Money?
I guess.
Like,
I guess.
yeah. You should protect your money.
I don't mean duped for money. When I say duped, I mean just like the Black Lives Matter activist sees some shit and gets mad. That person probably saw like on the doom scrolling phase. He probably saw some like articles that weren't like race bait articles. And they're like, this makes me angry. I hate white people or some shit. And then like every day just saw shit that was like aimed at them, memes, blah blah blah, and then eventually just got mad as fuck.
Yeah.
Instead of realizing like how life kind of works, read some statistics, maybe read some know how humanity is, culture, all that stuff, and then understanding like I should do this a different way. Shouldn't get so mad.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's just my perspective, bro. I don't know. Is it easy for you to just see things? Is it easy for you to just see past the bullshit?
I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if I necessarily see past the bullshit. I know what I want. Like I know the things that I want to do, and I never thought I was significant really. So like what I wanted to do didn't seem like a problem for me to just pursue exclusively because I'm like, what good could I do? Like what good for how in the world could I help? I could probably help myself before I help others, and I should probably help myself before I help others. And that's what I spent time doing. I spent a lot of time helping myself. I spent a lot of time improving myself to make life easier for me. And now that I have, like, I've been reaping the benefits from that. And now it's like, okay, so, now I look around at like the people around me and I start paying attention to them, now that I've kind of like in a relatively good position for myself. And then I'm like, what the fuck is going on with you guys? Because now at this point, like I look around, especially the people in my life, and I'm like, yo, you guys are all fucked. Like you guys are all like, you guys have been fucking wrecking shit in your existence. Like what the fuck is up with you? Like what's the deal? And then I look more into it. I spend time observing. Because we're talking like friends. Actually, I've lost friends over the past few years. Like they're dead now. Like literally, it's not even like they're just like having a bad life. It's like no, they're having a no life. So now it's like, okay, so this is a lot more dire than just like just a shitty life. Now it's like actual like the difference of whether you go 6 feet under or not. So this is why I'm saying like, all right, clearly this wellness shit is important. It's not just about looking cool. It's about actually survival now. Because the world has gotten so bad where if you don't have your inner game locked down, you could literally get yourself killed just doing stupid shit in excess, like drugs. So you gotta lock it down. You gotta figure out who you are. You gotta figure out your purpose. You gotta remember who you are. You gotta remember your purpose.
Society's gonna go to I think more people are gonna getting fucked up. I feel that there's still a big splurge in people that are like I said, I'm seeing like younger people really on their shit in all ways, mind, body, spirit. But a lot of people that are about to get faced with like crazy realities soon.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's just due to the changing of the world. The world's changing right now. I feel like I don't know. I feel like the people that had the drastic lifestyle growing up now got the good lifestyle. People that had the good lifestyles had the drastic lifestyles. But at the same time, it's all a big circle to me. I feel like shit just keeps I don't know. I always Me, I don't. I feel like maybe if you're stagnant in life, but I feel like people are just meant to keep going through shit in life. Some at more rates than others, but it's the only way to really like grow.
Yeah, it's also
That's just me though. I'm into throwing yourself in destruction to get experience. But
I don't know. I just think there's certain like things in this.
still, oh yeah, no that.
I was just saying there's certain things in the game that you gotta kind of it's you gotta have faith. I mean, like you can have so much intellect and expertise in technical fields and all this shit, but when it boils down to it, and you really want to like make,
I don't believe in like um. I believe in you gotta experience shit, but still believe it. But go into shit, like you said, go into things having faith.
yeah,
I feel like that's the first step is having faith.
yeah, and
I feel like that's
and
literally
most
the
people
first.
have no faith. Most people fucking have zero
No,
faith.
that's literally the first step. That's the first step, bro.
And that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, yo, what does faith even mean to you? Do you even understand what faith is? What do you even have faith in? Like, tell me one thing you have faith in this world. And, you know, they'll say, I have faith in myself. It's like, all right, if you have faith in yourself, then what the fuck are you complaining about? Go do whatever the fuck you want if you have faith in yourself. You know, other people will be like, but aside from those people, like it's like no, they don't have faith in anything. They don't even have faith in themselves. So it's like, okay, then you're fucked. Then, like, what am I supposed to tell a person like that? It's like all I could do is just be myself and rub it in their face. It's like, yeah, you're just living your shitty fucking faithless life, and I'm being me, and I'm just gonna keep being me. So you're either gonna like get so sick of seeing me, and I'm just gonna keep doing it more and more, or you're gonna
You
do
know,
it.
a lot of people would like say they don't. I don't know because this is kind of like atheist as well. But a lot of people, it's like if they're about to die, like someone has a gun to their head. Some people like might pray to God. I only say pray to God because like that's what they know of. So it's just I don't know. I feel like a lot of people in that exact moment will have faith when it's like life or death experience.
Yeah,
Or some I don't know. Maybe shit just has to happen to people, bro. Or maybe that's what the earth is like. People need to go through some shit right quick. Let me move some tectonic plates and shit. Shake the game up on motherfuckers and shit.
is that what you think? Like the doomsday is gonna happen? Like tectonic plates get shifted, and it's gonna be like end of civilization.
Well, not I don't know. I think life's gonna keep on going. I just think things are gonna get bad before they get good again. Because I think it's like a learning lesson for like everyone on the planet. It's like two wars right now. Third one's about to come out. You know what I'm saying? You never know what that might bring, or not. This might just be doomsday hype. Life just might keep going.
How do you feel
Life
about? I've been getting into what's it called? Fucking ancient civilized, like super advanced civilizations like Atlantis.
um, I read there's some Rosicrucian books with Atlantis. I think I
Well,
read
there's
a
also
little.
fucking Greek philosophy that references Atlantis.
But no, I'm just saying like back when I last read about it, I was trying to just reach like look at stuff about it. Some say it's all I don't know like even like I don't know if this is like similar to it, but people say that there's like pyramids that were buried in America because they wanted to hide all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I know Atlantis was like I didn't read much about it, bro. But I know is it really like was it? Are they trying to say like it's all underwater?
I mean, it could be literally just buried
And
beneath like
got wiped out.
beneath like straight up rock, because it's not just like flooding, like that happened
Yeah.
across the world.
Oh yeah. Just whatever.
It
Yeah.
was like crazy shit, entire shifts in like landmass that just like shit like crumbled and then just like sunk and then like closed back up in like solid ground again. It's like it was crazy. Like everything was like volcanic eruptions and massive tidal waves and insane storms. Like it was crazy.
It was
Like and
mad.
like apocalyptic shit, which is what they're saying is gonna happen again to us pretty soon.
Some people spiritually say that Earth's getting tired of people's bullshit and wants to reset the game.
I think it's not resetting. I think Earth, like I said, again, I think Earth is splitting. I think like
But you think,
there's two parallel
oh,
timelines. You know,
think two dimensions splitting up into two dimensions?
no,
Because I've heard that concept before.
yeah, like two dimensions or two timelines. That's another. I think timelines is a little more easy to like wrap your head around. You know, your consciousness if you're awakened, if you are more aligned, spiritually, your consciousness is going to experience one timeline. If you're insisting on like doubling down on your materialistic shit, then your consciousness is going to. Okay, so let's say you and I, right?
Okay,
Just
a whole different mentality.
just as a hypothetical experiment, right? Let's say I was getting denser and denser into, deeper into the third dimensional materialistic world, and you were becoming more spiritual, and our timeline was splitting, right? So for each of us, we'd be splitting off into different timelines, but the thing is, as we split, you going off into the better place would still see me. You would still have me, but it would be a different version of me. My consciousness now would be splitting off into like the worst shitty timeline. There would still be a version of you there too, but your consciousness of you now that you're experiencing would be on the different one. I would just be experiencing a different version of Jada Flame on the shitty fucking timeline with me. I think it's kind of like that. That's the kind of split we're talking about, where
no, exactly, and that's exactly what I mean. That's what I mean by, I mean,
it's a pretty heady concept. Like, it's pretty fucked up.
I would even say I go back and forth into both timelines.
That's where a lot of it's gonna get weird, where like they start crisscrossing as they split, as they like before they get too far.
I'm listening to classical music for like 2-3 months.
I'm just saying as they split. I'm just saying, as they split, they're gonna see jumps. You're gonna see like weird shit happening as the jumps get pronounced. Before the full like disconnection, there's going to be this weird like splitting cheesy pizza kind of sensation. Like it's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be crazy. That's what I think, anyway.
No, I can see it. Like, you can just see it. Like, talking, like, people are either one way or the other.
I know which one I want to be on. I'm telling you, I don't want to be in that crazy fucked up.
There is a way to.
I don't want to be in the machine, inorganic, dominated world. I want to be in the spiritual one.
That's the whole thing about I guess younger people. It's going to be harder to even get out of the shitty world as a young person.
Well, because that's what they're trying. That's what all the billionaires and the powers that be are trying to keep us in. That's the reptilian regime. The reptilians are trying to.
Yeah, and it's in every level of your life. Like the quality of the foods you eat.
Yeah.
Media you consume.
See, I want to go into the dimension with the aliens and the angels, not the reptilians and the demons.
Yeah, I'm trying to hang out with Gabriel.
Yeah, I don't want to hang out with the reptilians and Satan.
I need to fight for God. We come post up.
Look, I'm just about trusting. I trust the universe. Like, I don't think there's any. I think the universe is much greater than me, and I think the universe.
People trying to go against the stuff, and they're using technology to stop it. Soon, once they have the pill where it stops a hangover.
I'm just gonna trust life, dog. That's it. I just trust life. I trust in life.
You said AI world. AI, they got motherfuckers consciousness with mRNA corn.
Well, what they want in that world, it's the market. They literally want to put chips in your brain. They want to put a little tiny hole, like they want to inject a needle into your skull and inject like a film that expands once it's deployed, and it wraps around your brain and it sends signals based on your thoughts.
So this responds to.
Would you do Would you ever do shit like that? Would you do that Neuralink?
No, but I did check out the when he released the application for it, and they were looking for like paraplegic type people that maybe arms or legs are paralyzed or some shit, or got some brain condition. They weren't. So when I did see it, it was more so like to help people and stuff. But at the same time, you can still use that same type of technology. I don't know what Elon Musk's plan is with the Neuralink and further, but I'm pretty sure other people are. What you're saying is like already patented by blank companies.
Yeah, he's the fucking Antichrist, man.
Antichrist. Sometimes there's lots of perspectives on that. And
he's the Antichrist.
Some people think the Antichrist is a mindset.
That is a mindset. And Christ is a mindset. That's exactly what I'm saying. Christ is Christ consciousness.
It also says like there would be an antichrist and there would
I
be
mean, look, first of all, let's look at it this way. If Christ is a consciousness, there's going to be one dude in this world who adopts that consciousness more than everyone else. And if the Antichrist is a state of consciousness, there is going to be one dude in this world who adopts that antithesis way more than every other dude in the world. You know, so there is a dude out there who is the most Antichrist like, and there is a dude out there who's most Christ like. So it's like, who knows, you know? But I do think, yeah, Christ is a consciousness and the Antichrist is a consciousness. And and if you look at the signs, if you look at the wavelength and like kind of get a feel for it, Elon Musk is kind of adopting that like Antichrist vibe, you know?
what is that also like? Because the antichrist also is like kind of described as someone that was going to be kind of like a man of all like cultures or something like that. Like
I mean, Elon Musk, he's like seems like a man of many cultures, and he wants to go to he wants to go to Mars, you know, and Mars apparently has like satanic symbolism and like certain traditions, you know, just like a doom, like.
I think it's actually possible that people will get to Mars in the future.
Probably, yeah. Well, I don't see why not.
I was gonna say, and then I don't know. I think if it's Elon Musk, I don't know. I feel like it could be somebody else. I feel like it could be somebody else. Maybe someone younger as well. I feel like I'll come.
I don't know, but aside from the going to Mars thing, I think I'm more concerned with like, you know, how he wants to like literally put chips in people's like skulls, you know, like and wrap like around your brain. Like that's nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, guys like him are probably down to like just upload your consciousness and or like download and trap your soul into like a chip somewhere or something, you know, like.
Well, that's the thing. That I mean, we've seen like Futurama and the big parodies of that. Like, do you think we'll get to a point where if we die, we can just have our head in a tank or something, or just still be able to talk to people? And or on Key and Peele, they had when Steve Jobs died, he got uploaded to the cloud.
The idea is, why do you want to live forever in the material world? Like, you
Exactly.
know, yeah, it's probably a lot better when you're not here. It's probably is.
A vampire? Hell no.
Yo, everyone who's had a near-death experience, you know, for the most part, they go through what's it called, a life review, but none of them really have a bad time. Like they all generally have been reported to like be met with like benevolence, not like bad things. I mean, I haven't seen one. I should look into more near-death experiences where it's like they have demonic experiences. I saw Satan, I saw hell, I saw
God. It was like, hey, this ain't bad. Talking to God. I feel it.
Because like I said, every near-death experience I've seen, stories like the interviews, they were all like great. They had great experiences. They saw dead relatives. They saw beings of light. They all saw the life review. They all saw God, and God was just this bright, fucking warm light of benevolence and love, right? That's how they explained it. But I wonder if there are people out there who had near-death experiences and they were like, I saw fire, I saw brimstone, I saw creatures tearing me apart. By and large, most near-death experiences seem to be good. You know, they seem to be like, you know.
See what other people.
What?
Yeah, you do mostly. Off the top of my head, when I do hear about near-death experiences, a lot of people do mention that same thing. About
a lot of people are saying like that. I don't want to go back. They're like, I don't want to go back. Like, don't send me back. So they say you have to, and who knows what they are, but they say you have to go back to your body. You're not. It's not time yet. You have to go back. You're not done. So they send you back.
Nah, I can believe that. I believe that. I believe that to the fullest. But don't when people do see, I don't know.
Dark shit.
When people do see dark shit is when they take stuff like, what is it, peyote? Or like a bad acid or shroom trip.
Maybe. But as far as near death, I want to know if there's a person who had like a really bad and like hellish near death experience. That would be crazy.
I was gonna say, I can't even imagine though. Like what? I don't know, bro. It's just so crazy to imagine. Because like the only way to kind of imagine that type of scope of things is like a dream, like just picturing just surreal dreams that you had that were like insane and had crazy stuff going on.
I think like one way it could be kind of like hellish. Like let's say you had a good experience, but even if you did have a good experience, you go through your life review, quote unquote, and you see all the awful things you've done too. Not just the good things, but also all the bad.
You're
If
a
you
shitty
did
person.
if you did a lot more bad things than good things, you would go through your life review and you'd be like, "What the fuck did I do?"
Yeah.
Like, holy fuck, that was so bad. That was so terrible. So
The crazy
that
thing is, I was gonna say, once people are going back to the chip, crazy thing is people are gonna be have once the chip is advanced, people are gonna be able to have these life reviews.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. Without. Oh, hold
that
on
was
one
a Black
second.
Mirror episode.
Yeah, without having a near death experience.
That's fucking wow. That's gonna like, oh man, that's crazy. I couldn't. I
No,
think.
you know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be like a boyfriend and a girlfriend, right? They're gonna be like, they're gonna get into a fight. They're gonna be like, fuck you, no, fuck you," and then they're just gonna like go. And then as soon as they're separate, they're gonna be like, "Play the last 10, 15 minutes." They're gonna see.
That's like the
they're
Black
gonna-
Mirror episode. It's
there-
just that-
there's gonna be no gaslight. There's gonna be no gaslighting anymore.
what was I gonna say? And that I don't know. I think.
And you
the
know what
main
that
thing-
means? That means you know who's gonna do it? Everyone who's ever been like a victim of like some psychological abuse, they're all gonna get it. They're gonna be like, "Now nobody can gaslight me and tell me what did or didn't happen."
And it's I was gonna say the main thing is gonna be it's gonna I don't know. I don't think stuff like that will get. You think stuff like that will get mandatory?
I hope not. Like I would go to war before I allow things like that to be mandatory. I would literally be like, "Nope. This is where we got to start like killing motherfuckers. Like this is where we got to start like, you know, like
Because it started, bro. It all started with the phones. Phones you look through. If you got a smartphone, it tells you all the valuable information.
yeah.
I
mean that's literally biblical. That's biblically evil. Like when they say mark of the beast and if you're telling me it's mandatory to drill a hole in my head to put chips just so people could feel safer. No. Fuck that.
It's not mandatory to get the chip, but it is mandatory these days to have a smartphone.
I guess in a way, yeah, you're right. You know what? You're absolutely right.
You can't really function without a smartphone.
And maybe they make a society where it's like it's moving so hyper fast you can't really function without a brain chip.
That's the and that's the main the smart cities that they're trying to create. Maybe that's the main focus, to be able to, you have a chip, there's all this user interface around you, around the city. There might be a sign, a street sign. You can see stuff with. You can interact with it. Maybe go to a restaurant, order food in your brain. There's going to be all this shit, and a lot of people are going to just hop right on it, just like that. The people that don't believe in the self, they're like, okay, cool, it's fine.
Yo, can you hold that thought? I'll be right back. Just give me like 2 minutes. 1 minute.
For sure.
Give me a second. I hope you're all having a good 2024 so far on the second day of January. It's currently 10:52 p.m. A little more than an hour before midnight. Then it'll be 3 days into 2024. Earlier today, I rewatched a movie called All Quiet on the Western Front. It was about the Germans in World War One.
Bro, how to get more seltzer water?
Yeah?
All that seltzer water.
You went to the Stowe?
Yeah, right quick. Just ran like 4 miles right quick. Came back quick.
Yeah, you should move. You should move out. Do you think you'd be able to afford moving out here to New York?
I mean, it depends. Do they have like a? What's the range for like a 1-bedroom apartment? I'm not, bro. I don't know if I'm like want to go back to city life. Well, what's the range for like a 1-bedroom apartment?
Like anywhere between
That's like decent.
like 1,300 to like 1,500, or actually anywhere between 1,300 to like 2,500.
So like 2,000 to 3,000. So I guess it's not that bad, and that's crazy.
I pay for a 1-bedroom with like everything, like a living room, kitchen, and full bedroom. I pay like 12.50.
Dang, in New York,
Yeah.
bro, I pay like 1,300. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Nah,
bro.
bro. Tampa had the biggest. Where I live now, bro. 5 years ago it was 500 a month, 600 a month. Tampa really, when COVID hit, real estate market boomed in Florida, specifically in Tampa too. Like prices like increased a lot. So I used to perceive like New York as being expensive, San Francisco, Seattle. That's why I moved back to Tampa just because it was cheaper. I missed out on opportunities of buying cheap ass real estate while it was cheap. Now it's just like 5 times the price of what it used to be.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Is that
But
what you want to do? Own real estate?
um, maybe if it's effortless, I'm not trying to break an arm and a leg for it. Get tied into a 30-year mortgage, get fucked.
I mean, that's like a big Florida game too. Like, I mean, I just feel like if you're from Florida, like, and you want to make money, I think real estate is probably your best bet because there's so much shit just being like hustled. Like, I'm saying like houses, like straight up like properties, just constantly switching hands.
But it does get to a point where Tampa, Florida was like a blank slate for a while. It was always a state where like people from the East Coast move down when they retire, have a winter home or whatever, or people just from the East Coast move to Florida in general. But it's now not that. Just like California, the average house is like between $500 to $1 million. Even if it's a shitty house, that's 900,000. Seattle, every house is like $500 to $1 million. Florida, the houses were like 20,000, 100,000. Now they're like 300,000, 400, 500,000. But at the same time, bro, it's always, I don't know, if you can still, there's always gonna be people that are gonna buy houses unless shit crash soon. But that goes back to the smart cities, bro. If people can't buy houses because Blake Company owns it, then if they convert them into smart cities, people will have no choice but to live in these houses or little. I think they're gonna have smart cities, and I think they're gonna have smart city camp places, with tents and stuff.
You know what I think I gotta do? I gotta get good at cutting hair. I think I gotta learn how to cut people's hair.
Oh, as a you'll get your barber license on the side.
Yo, I mean, yeah, I think that'll be good. I think no matter where you go, if you can cut hair, you'll never go hungry.
Yeah. Barbershops are dope.
Yeah, seriously.
You can start your own barbershop, hire barbers under you.
Like like if it's post-apocalypse, like it's like, oh, I got a skill. I could cut. What?
Like people are gonna still want to be swagged out during apocalypse.
Yeah, I could be like, yo, hey, I could cut hair. That'll be my skill, you know? Like, I'm a haircut man. I could cut your hair. I could make it look good.
Skills during the apocalypse.
And it would be sick. Like I could cut black people hair, white people hair, Asian people hair. If I could just get good at cutting all the hair, I'll be the expert.
Survival skills during it's just, I don't know, I just feel like it's gonna be the apocalypse is I even feel like the apocalypse is not gonna hit the same for everybody. It might not even hit people.
Yeah.
Some people might still like they live in a certain area where they're good, and then other areas just might be fucked.
Yeah, if they live in like Africa or something, it's suddenly like because Africa is the only place that gets spared.
Like no, I just meant like I don't know, like let's just say a bomb hit America, or just hit certain regions of America. Still a lot of regions, but some people will still be all right, I assume.
Well, if during a whole nuclear apocalypse, you know what? The initial nuclear blasts is not what kills everybody. What actually kills everybody is like the nuclear winter. Yeah, the after effects, the fallout, the nuclear fallout, the nuclear winter. That's what kills people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, bro, that shit's fucking. I don't even know, bro. And that's why I don't know. People think I'm crazy. I was talking about like, 'cause in America, there's companies that can build a bunker, underground bunker and shit. And I'm just like, okay, I get a manufactured home built, less than 100,000 on some land. Because who gives a fuck? Whatever. Tornado hits the home, fuck it, at most. But for the nuclear bomb, if you got an underground bunker, you're good. Maybe.
Well, that's what rich people are doing. A lot of rich people are building like.
Well, it's not. You don't have to be. You take out you can get all this done for less than what people are buying a house for.
Yeah, they already own mansions, so they're just building like an underground 6-bedroom apartment.
I'm just like, that's the move right now, bro. That's the move.
It really seems kind of it seems kind of pussy to me. It's like they're just like ostriches sticking their heads in the sand.
Hey, they got it like that. There was also I was gonna say, let's just say it's a natural disaster. There was a movie I saw where these people were like, only certain they selected certain people to get on this jet and get on this like bunker in Iceland or some shit. Greenland, one of those countries. I got confused. There's like a bunker that was like gonna protect everyone from the shit. And they only chose certain people like scientists, doctors, people with like certain skills, basically, or maybe people that just paid the ticket for it. But it was just wild how like if something like that were to happen, where they can only save a certain people and a certain amount of people, they're gonna probably choose the best of the best people.
Yeah.
In their fields or whatever. And that's just fucking funny and crazy, bro.
No, I mean, I don't think. You know what seems more likely than a nuclear apocalypse? Because I think people are too scared to like launch nukes. They're too afraid of their own lives and the livelihoods of their kids and shit. What's more likely is like a global catastrophe, like a geographical or geological catastrophe.
That's what I mean. Like all these storms, tornadoes, earthquakes, volcanoes start happening. Like how do you and that's something you can't really predict. If you know a war is happening, you could kind of predict that shit. Like country's not gonna attack.
Yeah, but if it's like a freak like solar flare that just disrupts the magnetic the magnetic field of our planet Earth, and it shifts the poles.
Everybody, that shit crazy as fuck.
Did you see that movie 2012?
Yeah, like a while back, a long time ago.
Yeah,
I saw the shit. I saw the drastic shit. That's why I'm like, damn. That's when everything that people think they care about will automatically just go. People will just forget all the material shit, all the clothes, cars. That's when everyone will just be like, oh my god. There might be somebody trying to save their PS5 throughout the whole thing.
Well, there's people that said it happened before already.
Shit.
That's how Atlantis died. Like that's what Noah had to survive. You know.
They be saying that shit's not gonna. Cause you always be saying that like, oh, it's not. I heard about that in school. They'll just say, oh yeah, 13 billion years ago, this happened. Like, and I'm like, I feel it, and it only happens every 13 billion years. And I'm just like, or like, oh, like, or you see like, oh, NASA comet that doesn't pass the Earth. Comet that's passed the Earth every 1,000 years is supposed to hit near Earth soon, and they hype some shit up. So I'm just like, fuck it, you just gotta face it. When that shit hit, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Turn up. You never know. You can probably activate the ninth dimension, start controlling the environment and shit, telepathy and shit. I don't know. You never know. I feel like I don't know, the way I perceive shit, like. Once you I feel like motherfuckers they covered up so much shit. I feel like people can walk through the walls, teleport. But the material aspect is just your soul gets consumed. But once that shit happens, that shit does happen, people gotta. I don't know. You can't really prepare for it. So that's when the realest shit is gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna end the live stream though. I'm gonna keep the episode going, but just end the live stream. So say bye, Facebook.
Bye, Facebook. Stay lit. Stay
Fuck
blessed.
you. Fuck you. I love you.
Get on Twitter, Facebook. That's all.
All right, so the live is done. But yeah, the episode's still going. I just want to say, like, I don't know. I mean, how do you feel? How do you feel about the episode so far? Was it a good one?
Episode cool. I feel like we do.
I bet you'd like to have a beer with me in real life. You know.
You cool, bro. The Libra's cool.
Libra?
The Libras that don't be balanced out be super unbalanced. But what was I about to say? Cool people, bro. I feel like I don't know, when we go into it with certain topics, it's cool to have certain gist of topics, but I feel like we can got the skill of just free flowing off different topics,
Yeah.
but still referencing like the gist of it. But I don't know. I feel like that really doesn't matter. I don't think a lot of podcasts really have topics like that,
I
or
mean,
like to a specific topic. But
yeah, no, the podcast is more of a personal passion project as so far. I mean, my music stuff gets more views. I mean, there's less like subscribers on that channel, but it gets more views. For funnily enough, like the podcast has more subscribers, but it gets less views than my music stuff, and I'm okay with that. I'd rather get my music stuff to have more views anyway. Like, to be honest,
promote my music at all.
I can't hear you.
Oh, hold on. Yo, you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes
yeah,
too loud.
too loud.
Yeah, interface. SSL2 solid state.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, I don't know. When I was like younger, between like 18, 24, some shit, I had more of the drive to talk about music and shit
Wait,
online.
you're still a little loud, just slightly, like one
Okay,
tick.
how about now?
You're good.
Yeah, I had more of a drive to like talk about music and shit online. But now that I don't ever want to say I mastered making music. But once you know, like, understand like how a lot of music's made, you can just easily make it, and then like, you can just make different genres of music. Everything just comes easy. You just know how shit works. Not all the way, like I said, I'm not no master of music, whatever. But and it gets to the point I don't really care for like promoting my music. I want to like blow up a certain way, but I don't care like I don't know. I don't care too much. I more so and just enjoy making music and shit. I'm still gonna promote and shit, to have marketing campaigns, do some music videos pop off, but like
Yeah.
at the same time, bro, it's like
It would just be nice if you lived out, here. We could collab all the time. It would be cool. I mean, look, if you moved out here, it would be cooler. I think you should experience New York before I experience Florida.
it's two different. Bro, it's just the city, bro. It's just bullshit. People's bullshit. And it's just, I don't know, because San Francisco was just, I don't know, it's just people's bullshit. But I feel it though. If I moved to New York, I don't know, I'll probably get rid of my car or some shit and just Uber everywhere.
Yeah.
Take bus and shit. But I don't know, that's a big change of pace, bro. New York.
Yeah.
Down here in Florida where it's slow. You know what I'm saying? Everything is slow in southern mode. Oh yeah, I'm not trying to go to New York. New York got all this liberal shit going on.
Like what?
All this is it really true? Like thousands and thousands of migrants. You know, it's so funny. I be seeing the Republicans post about that on Twitter, but I'm like, fuck it. The strongest will survive. You can't be mad because these niggas got the blessing and shit.
I
Got
don't. I don't see him. I never see any refugees.
Or maybe it's just doom scrolling Twitter. Republican.
Yeah, everyone's a refugee in New York at the end of the
But
day.
I'm just like, bro, it's like, can't be mad at the meta changing. That's like on video, like on Overwatch. They changed the hero. They nerfed the hero. They don't do that much damage anymore. You can't be mad that the universe changed up. You know what I'm saying? But if God handing the blessing off to another, that's what I'm saying. There is like your individual, I don't know, bro. Because like even with like astrology, bro, there's like people can have an individual astrological sign and chart, but then I feel like there's specific regions of the world. There's actually a website that you can look up like the astrological sign of certain regions of the world and stuff. And I feel like that plays like a huge factor in like a lot of things. Like I don't know, it's like if you imagine it like as a board or some shit, it's like the pieces are being moved. But I don't know how to explain it, bro. The only way I can really explain all this shit, like, you ever made a video game before, or like programmed a video game?
Not kind of not really. More it's a text-based
Even like
game.
basic, like even like a
Like a text-based video game, yeah.
because I feel like it's just all code. Like
If
God
this
is,
then
like,
if this then that, yeah.
and I feel like you give people these characteristics, astrological signs, but then like the Holy Spirit is like this piece of code that can bypass that. So if you get what I mean, it could just bypass that. But with the when the human is born, it's like the random character generator. gives everyone their own attributes and stuff. But and that even plays like where you're born in the world, because you're good. Like depending on where you're born, I just feel like yeah, people have their energies, but even like the winds have their own energies, the weather and stuff, the rain, like, all that plays a factor. The way the tree looks, colors and stuff you see.
Yeah.
I feel all that plays. Although it is all light. You know what I'm saying? From what we perceive, it is stuff we perceive. And if people, like I said, people can't really like understand how other people's code is made up of, then it's just like people not fuck, but like you're more prone to like certain types of conflict than others.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah, no, I agree. So yeah, it's about attunement, proper attunement of your frequency on the light spectrum, all the way up to ultraviolet.
I was about to say, but I really, bro, going back to the chip, bro, I really think that I don't know. This might be some back of my mind doomsday shit, but I really think they trying to put motherfuckers in smart cities, dog. And that's I don't know. Maybe it might be some super doomsday shit, but I feel like the progression from using phones to like what that's like. I don't know what the future of phone usage would be when it comes to technology. I don't know what like if people will. You think people will transcend from using smartphones into something else soon, or will it go right into the chip?
I mean,
'Cause now
there's
glasses,
yeah, there's
Ray-Ban
AR glasses.
glasses, but it's just like damn. What's the I was gonna say? Damn, that's fucking crazy, bro. You think it's gonna get tied into our government system where you have to have a driver's license for social media? Because what I think stuff like that's gonna lead to, like how like it's gonna they're already trying to pull. There's people that got proposals where they're trying to you can't make a social media account until you have a driver's license. Like, you can't get verified until you have a driver's license.
I'm sure you could
And
use a passport or something, like any
you know
ID.
what? Well, no, yeah, you just have to use something. You can't just make like a burner account and just talk shit. They're trying to stop that. They're
Yeah.
trying to make it so they can see every. I think in Ireland they're trying to pass some bill where they can like see all the images in your phone. So if you got some shit that's like, they don't like, they can just put you in jail maybe.
Okay.
And when I say they don't like, I don't mean just like, um, shit we already know that you don't like, but just like
I'm saying, like, you're already compromised. You think you're fighting against something that you're gonna lose. What you think you're gonna lose, you already lost it a long time ago. Like all that shit about like privacy over, it's bullshit.
yeah, I don't believe in like when people be like I want to be off the grid. I'm like okay, I don't believe in that too much.
No, they're
I feel
gonna
like
find you if they want to
all-
see everything about you and everything you have. They'll do it.
yeah, they don't care. They don't care if you just.
So it's stupid to be scared of it.
completely
Yeah.
off the grid is to be like, I don't know. You got to be like born in a secret, just a secret birth.
Yeah, it's
Born-
impossible.
live in the woods.
It's
live
impossible.
in the woods or some shit. Yeah, well, I guess more so how preventing it from not letting it control your life too much. Because at the end of the day, the end goal is the chip in your head. Maybe I think, and there's gonna be a point in time. I don't know. They might make it mandatory, depending on that they as much control as.
Nah, people go.
And like you said, war, right? But there's people that are just all for it. Probably, I don't doubt that there's people that are like, yeah, science.
Transhumanism.
science.
They call it transhumanism.
Woo! Yeah, I love science. But like, it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be crazy, and it's gonna be like there's gonna be someone that posts like there's gonna be video games that people post like they're gonna be posting their gameplay because they got the chip in their head, and then it's gonna look so amazing. Like, oh my gosh, I want to play that. And then people are gonna get prone to that. It's crazy, bro. So they're gonna be porn, virtual reality porn and shit, or shit, whatever. I don't know how it's gonna be prescribed to people. All that shit, damn, it's fucking wild to think about, bro. But that's just life. You know what I'm saying? That's why religion exists. So people, it's all about. You can't really worry about other people. It is what it is.
Yep. Anyway, on that note, we could we could tie up this episode. So I'm just gonna stop the recording and say good night to everyone. Thanks for watching, peoples. This wonderful 2 hour and change episode.
Stay lit.
You got any closing remarks?
Stay lit. Stay blessed.
Stay lit.
Believe in
Stay
yourself.
blessed. Believe in yourself.
No one else will believe in you if you don't believe in yourself.
All right.
Stay
Night
lit.
night.